Is just the very best in high performance training, personal development. What I find is he takes the common sense and he puts it into a framework so that we can actually use it in our everyday to grow and to move forward.
I'm here at Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. Now you gotta come to this event. I'm telling you, Brendan is so authentically energetic, enthusiastic, energizing, and so savvy on all the things that make you a high performer. There's so much here. I mean, even for people who think they've got it all figured out and dialed in and that are performing high in their life, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
I have a much clearer idea and a much better plan and a clear pathway of what I need to look at, what I need to measure, how I need to change, and more specifically what habits and thinking habits particularly, what I need to put into my life so that I can change the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I behave. All of this wrapped up into one package is going to definitely change my life.
It's been so far 3 days of off-the-charts training. Just the stuff that Brendan gives us is actionable, it's real, it's content-driven, and Brendan is great at not only motivating you to live at a higher level, to perform at a higher level, but he gives you the framework and the actual strategies to do it.
Brendan, oh my gosh, he is a blessing. He connects the dots in what we struggle with. It has opened me up. I woke up this morning just alive again, and I recommend this for anybody, any walk of life, any place they're at. I'd like my adult children to come. I think it would be a wonderful, advantage for them. I've heard people walking the halls talking about, wow, I've got 4 kids at home, and these things I'm going to start now. So it's just amazing, and I am grateful.
This year, my charge to myself has been to, when presented with good, better, and best choices for myself and for others, to always choose the best. And that's been my charge for the whole year. But I'll tell you that I didn't have all the practices that I needed in order to implement that. So I found myself in a huge rut. And let me just tell you that now I have not only a 6-month action plan for the practices that I'm going to implement in order to really take that charge seriously and be the best person that I can be at home and in my business, but I also know exactly what I'm going to do every day when I get up out of bed all the way to when I go to bed at night. And let me just tell you that that is invaluable, because it's the small little decisions that really make such a huge difference.
I'm here at High Performance Academy with Brendan Burchard. Like many of you probably already know, when you've seen the videos and everything, that guy just gives everything in every video. Well, it's everything and more in person. I've learned so much here that I had no expectation to learn from him and the people that he brought on stage. Would I recommend it? Absolutely.
This event has been one of the most incredible, life-changing events that I personally have gone to. Brendan means so much to me and what his teaching is doing that I've taken with me my family of 4 kids and my husband to be at this event with me. He looks at not only what's important to focus on, how to manage your time. He looks at all of the mechanisms, what drives you, what keeps you interested in things, and just really gets us to level up and change our game. If you're looking to change your game, if you're looking to take your life to the next possible level, then this is the place to be.
All I can say is, oh my goodness. So I've been following this guy for a little while, and who he is on that stage is powerful beyond belief. I had no idea what I'd be walking into, and I just cannot wait to put into all these practices, tangible tips, techniques, tools that I am learning, and implement them into my life to really bring my game up to the next level. If you ever have an opportunity to work with this man in any of his programs, I cannot recommend him highly enough. I am taking on the 60-day challenge. I am bringing the joy to my life. I am going to commit to making the change. This is my new demarcation line, and I can't wait for what's in store. Thank you, Brendan, and hope to see you here soon.
Brendan attracts the most incredible people in the world, people from all over the world. And this is my first time at High Performance Academy, And I feel so great being here, just from the energy, just from the incredible people, everything that I'm learning from him. And what I'm getting is like these tools on how to like shortcut, you know, the learning curve. Like Brendan's done it. Brendan is this incredible expert, and I'm getting all the time and all the struggle that it took him to get to where he's at like this.
I've taken a lot of personal development classes because I want to be the best I can for my patients. But when you're listening to Brendan, you leave like just wanting to be the best person that you can be. He just has so many valuable tools and tips that I really feel like I can actually finally make a difference in the world, because I took everything that he said and I'm like taking it to heart and really paying attention. For 4 days, it's the most amazing training that I've ever been to. This is going to be the stepping stones for me to make it to the next level.
If you have a chance, everybody says walk, don't run, sprint, fly, jump, hop in a boat, swim across the ocean, make your way here as best you can, because you will never, ever, ever forget it. You'll never also ever regret it.
I believe in the struggle. I honor the struggle. I honor the journey. Like, if it was so easy, it would not be worthwhile, because it would not stretch and activate the best, strongest energies within us.
There's so much here. I mean, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
Give me high performance. Give me an evenly sustained energy. The thing that lives within us, that burns in our soul, that is always a light.
What new breakthroughs in neuroscience, positive psychology, and high performance studies can I use to master my mind and feel more alive, confident, and focused?
Yes, we've been learning about the secrets of psychology and physiology, how to get more out of ourselves. I feel like the tips and the tools and the strategies that I've learned will be worth 10 times anything that I've invested to be here.
How can I power up my physiology to fight all fatigue and stress I feel in my body day by day?
He has given us strategies, He has given us hope, He has given us vision, He's given us all of these things that you just can't get anywhere else.
What real-world, day-by-day productivity strategies can I use to aim my efforts, get more done, and achieve my dreams faster?
He gets you. He like reaches into your heart and squeezes it and has you not only with like the philosophy, but the practice and the processes and the notes and just the extraordinary amount of content and then he just shoots you off into the world ready to make all of that happen.
How do I become more persuasive and influential at home and in my career, with my family, with my friends, with my loved ones, with those that I serve and lead?
Brendan Burchard is one of the best teachers I have ever had the gift of being in the presence of. He's masterful, he's creative, he's on purpose, he's on target, and beyond all of who he is, his mission in life and his actual fulfillment of that mission is to bring that out in each of us, and he's done it for me.
This is High Performance Academy, advanced psychology, physiology, productivity, and persuasion training for today's high achievers and leaders. All right, my friends. Hey, it's Brendan Burchard, author of the Motivation Manifesto and founder of High Performance Academy. We are here live. It is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast of the United States of America. And I am thrilled to be chatting with you here tonight for the next 2 hours to share with you some of my big breakthroughs, my big personal lessons, the same strategies, tools, mindsets that I talked through some of the highest performing, highest achieving people in the world. This is live, so there's lots of mistakes and lots of nonsense to come. I've got my laptop here so that I'm equipped to take some of your questions throughout the afternoon. You can see that there I am right there talking to myself. A little weird. So I'm going to be taking some of your questions. You see there's some comments down below. You're welcome to post some comments anytime throughout this webcast. Please do know that when you post a webcast in this forum here today, you might have to hit refresh before you'd see it posted or have other people able to see it and reply. So as we go throughout this webcast, I'm just going to be sharing with you 5 big strategies. I'm like big power strategies, simple triggers that you can do and set up in your own life that will get you moving faster, advance your life a little bit better. Because, you know, everybody's dealing with the same stuff right now. I've been blessed to travel the world, speaking with audiences from around the globe, helping people try to find what is it within them that's stronger. What is it within them that could live a more fully charged life? You know, a different quality of experience where we're more energized, more engaged, more enthusiastic about the future. Like, how do you get there? Especially in a time right now where everyone's so freaked out, you know? They're freaked out in different ways than they used to be. They're freaked out because they're fearful. You know, we're all fearful in some way or another. We're scared that maybe we're not enough, or we have self-doubt, or we're worried that, you know, we don't have the capabilities or the skills or the knowledge to handle tomorrow and all the uncertainties it will bring. A lot of people right now, they're fatigued and frustrated. You know, they're in this place where like, I'm trying everything, Brendan. I can't seem to break through. I don't know, you know. I'm doing fine, but what's that next level? You know, I don't know if you ever felt that before, but if you've been in a place where there's a restlessness inside and you truly want to go to another level, I'll argue all day long the only way to get there is for you to develop a whole new set of high performance practices, habits, mindsets in your life so that you can advance. Because whatever got you where you're at here today, it did its best. Your current beliefs and behaviors, the amount of discipline that you have, the amount that you're able to fuel your body, your mind, your motivation, all of the best of you brought you to the best of today. And that's hard to say because people say, well, sometimes you don't understand, life has really knocked me over, you know, I've gotten this health issue, or maybe something happened to my family, or the economy. I mean, lots of things happen to lots of people. But over a duration of time, our real selves sort of start to emerge. We can all have a moment or a few years in time where we're not maybe our best, but ultimately, when you look at the span of a decade, I mean, how thrilled are you with the last decade? Like, do you look at the last 10 years and like, yes, you know, I use those 10 years to grow into my best relationships. I use those 10 years to grow into my most confident, outgoing, excited, happy self. I use those last 10 years to build a remarkable, unbreakable business. I use those last 10 years to get in the best health of my life. Or are you kind of like still muddling, struggling through, trying to find your way, trying to get your rhythm? And no matter what your answers are, I can relate. You know, I've had a decade in my life I wasn't happy with. I've had a decade in my life I've been thrilled with. I've had years in my life where I had brain injuries that stopped me cold from advancing and enjoying life. I've had years in my life where I've lost people who I cared about deeply. I've had years in life when I thought the business wouldn't go. I've had years in life when I thought, I can't believe I'm doing all this work and I can't seem to break through. And other years where, you know, it's been such a blessing that I walk down the street feeling alive and grateful every moment. We all have the ups and downs, the rhythms of life. This tonight is a conversation about how do we heighten it and how do we sustain it. That's what high performance is. Lots of people spent a tremendous amount of time over the last couple decades teaching great concepts in personal development, but they were also peak performance oriented, right? You hit this peak and then what happens? A valley. because they gave strategies that were very type A, super masculine, take over the world types of concepts, and then what ended up happening? We got to where we are today, where people are wiped out. They're frustrated. They psych themselves up sometimes, but they can't maintain it. They obliterated their relationships or their businesses or their health because they were in those go-go 80s, you know, those go-go 90s, those times when, you know, at the beginning even of this new century, where it was just all about type A masculine accomplishment. And by the way, that's all fine, and we all need portions of that fuel to go, but that's why people are sputtering out of gas right now. You know, living on a jet rocket is not what any of us want to experience. What we want to experience is the type of life where we are fully energized. We're engaged with what's in front of us today. We're excited about it. We feel present, mindful, aware, awake, vital, excited, connected with this moment, connected with the people around us, and we are marching our life forward. That we're not just, you know, bulls in china shops anymore, where we're just breaking through everything, trying to, you know, reach that next level. But no, now we are at a different time. People want to be able to succeed with sanity. And I know that's where you're at. You're frustrated with all the old methodologies and all the old things they told us to do to get ahead that just didn't stick, that didn't work. And to be honest, it's nobody's fault. The science wasn't there. We've come a very long way in high-performance studies, in psychology, in our understandings of adult development, in our understandings of our own brains and bodies. Look, we didn't figure out neuroplasticity in terms of a real science until we could get in your brain in 2004 and really see it. We've only had a decade of what would be modern neuroscience, just a decade. So if you're in a place where you've been really frustrated with your own personal development or professional development, where you feel like the real barrier to your next level of business is you, where that real barrier to the next level of productivity in your career is those days when you wake up and, you know, you were really motivated in the morning, and then by 3 p.m. you got, like, you know, 2 bags of Doritos down, a Diet Coke, and you're on your, like, 5th viewing of the Scandal season. You know, it's like, this is not what we're after. We're trying to get you to a point where you're living from and into your fullest potential, in a state of joy, not road rage, in a state of joy, not fear, in a state of joy, not where, you know, you're supposed to be confident, perfect all the time, but you're willing to play a little bit with life and see how it goes, to take those bigger risks, not because, ba-ba-dum, look at me, but because you're willing to engage with life at the highest levels. I'm here to argue tonight, in the next 2 hours with you, that there is another level for you. And I could say that to anybody in the world, couldn't I? You know, I could say that to US presidents, as I have. I could say that to Olympians, as I have. I could say that to people paying me $250,000 a year to coach them without blinking an eye. Why? Because we can all reach the next level. And it's not striving in some way that we're not fulfilled. Look, I'm very fulfilled in my life right now, and I bet a lot of you watching are too. But we gotta always know that the next level of growth is there. You know, one of Oprah's favorite questions that she asked herself, as she says in some of her videos, was, she always was wondering, what's next? She was always looking forward to what's next. Not that she wasn't grateful or happy, but she was always curious, what's next for her? Well, what's next for you? What's the next level, the next chapter, the next breakthrough? Because you've topped out right now. And I don't say that in some mean way, judgmental way, because I may or may not know you. I got some friends watching this who are literally, you know, preparing for their next Olympic bid. I've got some friends who are watching this who are, you know, just struggling to make it through. I've got some clients who are just in transition. I've got some clients watching this who, you know, we all know by household name. They're on covers of magazines. But as we're all here tonight, I know that you feel it, and I feel it too, that we are at the best of our abilities today, and until we get some new tools, until we develop different mindsets, some new beliefs, some new habits, until we return to the essentials, until we get a little more sane, you know, until we stop browsing and getting sucked in by distraction, or today, the big pools of pessimism surrounding the worldwide economy, until we overcome those things, there is no breakthrough. Until we overcome those things, we're at a ceiling. And it's not rude to tell somebody that they've hit their top. I think it's true. I think, you know, when a high school graduate is at their last, days of high school, they hit their peak of high school. That was that period of time they had. Now they're transitioning into a new time. They topped out in high school. They're done. New journey. All of us are in the same. Next page, it's blank for you, for me, for all of us. We get to choose how are we going to go into tomorrow. And tonight, I'm going to invite you to go into tomorrow at another level. I'm going to invite you into High Performance Academy 2015, my most elite personal and professional development program I've ever developed, and frankly, something I will never offer again, because I'm going to take you, this new class, if you'd like to join us tonight, I'm going to take you through a year of high performance coaching, where every single month, live, you and me, I'm teaching you the new, most recent neuroscience, the most recent high performance studies, the most recent things that I know in every area of life to advance you. This is all after I've taken you through 5 weeks of online training. I'll offer you some live tickets tonight if you ever want to join me at one of my live events, and I'll answer all your questions about High Performance Academy. It's a very elite, high-level part of personal development. You could go buy a $20 personal development book, or you could roll in a program that forever transforms the quality of your life because it sustains it. It's not just reading the book one time. It's let's work for a year, you and me. Let's get you at that highest level. It's just like I would do an Olympian, just like I would do a $250,000 client. You deserve that. Your family deserves it. Your health deserves it. Your career, your business, your team deserves it. We all got to, at least some point, make a big decision in our life to move forward. Tonight, my job is to tell you about High Performance Academy 2015, hopefully enroll you in that, and also teach you along the way, whether you join us or not, teach you some simple tools, simple ideas that can radically advance your life, and some things that maybe I can't teach you how to do tonight, to give you the homework to say, you better go figure these out, with or without me. Make these a to-do list because they're vital and they're important. So I've got in front of me 5 progress triggers we're going to work through. I'm going to go right to the flip chart over here in a few minutes, and what I'm going to do is work with you. And we're going to go through these 5. Then I've got some special things I'm going to teach you tonight. I'm going to teach you how not to have those afternoon crashes where your energy just goes and you're like, Starbucks, help. I'm going to work you through, well, what is it that you could do to be more resilient and focused? I'm going to help you figure out how do you get your family on board to support your next level of dreams. I'll talk about how do you reset your vision, or how do you find your confidence again if you've been disappointed for a while. I know I'm talking to folks tonight from all walks of life, from countries all over the world. We all struggle. We all deal with the same things. But there are some people who deal with it better. And it's not because they lucked out on the genetic lottery code. They have better coding up here. It's not because they lucked out and just woke up on the good side of the bed one morning. It's because after a period of time, they've conditioned their mind and their body and their spirit and their energy to support higher ambitions for themselves, to support the next level for themselves. And because they've done it so long, over so much period of time, those uncertainties or times of incomplete information, those times when they're not even sure where to go, they know how to get clarity. They know how to summon their energy. They know how to find more levels of courage than the average guy or gal, and that's where they hit high performance. And that's what I want to invite you into tonight. With that, well, let's go over to progress triggers. I'm going to come back in a little bit. I'm just going to start teaching you guys because I know I got people coming on right now from all over the place. So I'm going to go to this flip chart, start teaching some stuff. Then I'll come back over here in a few moments, or a few minutes, and I'll actually go over some Q&A. Take your questions right here in the forum. I also have Molly from my team down in the Q&A sessions down below. You guys, as you look at the comments below, you can sort them by newest or chronological, so you can see who's commenting right now, or you can do it socially, so your friends who've been engaging in our videos down below. But I'll go ahead and start teaching. I'll come back here. We'll take a break. I'll ask to take some questions. We'll come back, and I'll just start cranking through some questions with y'all, okay? So let's head over to the flip chart, and let's talk through some of these performance triggers. Now, you may or may not know who I am, which at this point you're probably like, what's he talking about? But if you know who I am, you know that most of my career has been focused in helping people live a more fully charged life. If you look at my, our famous podcast, we've been in the top 10 self-help podcasts for 64 weeks. If you look on YouTube, I have the #1 self-help series ever on YouTube. And I'm really blessed by all that. We've got a tremendous, 40 million people have watched my videos in the last year to year and a half. 40 million adults, by the way, watching our content, going through it, having a real conversation about how do we take our lives to the next level. I've made this my dedication point, and I want to teach you about the 5 critical areas you've got to master in your life, and then work you through some performance triggers, we call them, progress triggers, in each of these areas to help you achieve the next quality, the next heightened level of life for yourself. Now, if you are just meeting me for the first time, I'm really, truly blessed to get to do this, now since 2006 on my own, becoming the world's highest paid, highest performing, and probably most followed and known and watched high performance coach. And all of that only for one reason: I'm kind of obsessed with this topic. And here's what I found. After almost 2 decades now of deep research in neuroscience, psychology, performance studies, expertise development, and longevity, here's what I found. There's basically 5 areas we all have to master. And I'll teach you a trigger in each of these areas as we go. But let me give you a preview real fast. The first area we have to master in our life is our own psychology. Now, that's a lifelong endeavor for most people. But if you've felt lately ever sort of restless with yourself, frustrated with yourself, you have trouble getting motivated, you have trouble feeling deep levels of fulfillment, joy, engagement with life, then this is an area we truly have to work on. If you're at a point where you're like, I don't know who I am really now, or I don't know who I need to be now, meaning you're in a moment of transition. Maybe you got divorced, or maybe the kids moved out, or maybe you're starting a new business and you're like, this is all new to me. The first place you better start working on is your mindset, your beliefs, your thought patterns, how you feel as a person. Remember, psychology is the science of the study of both the mind and behavior. So thoughts and behavior. Most people forget that psychology includes behavior, right? So it's tracking your habits too. How are you behaving each day? Is it as what you would call your highest self, or is it as a person who's just surviving, trying to make it through, and in that process, commonly being disappointed with yourself, being frustrated with yourself, commonly not feeling the levels of joy and happiness and fulfillment that you deserve. And I don't mean once in a while when you achieve something. I mean on a daily basis. How much are you laughing relates to your psychology. How much are you feeling like you're really in the flow of the moments around you? Presence is related to psychology. How well is your relationships with other people is your psychology. All these things we have to measure, and obviously we have to get better at it. One of the primary reasons people join High Performance Academy is I go deep here. This is one of my lifelong studies. If you've ever been to High Performance Academy, you met psychologist after psychiatrist after doctor. The people from the medical industry and health industries are always packed in there because they're like, what has this kid figured out? Because not only do I experiment on myself, but I'm blessed to have access to some of the world's foremost folks in these areas who advise me, help me out with my books, who I interview, who I'm always trying to learn from. I'm going to teach you some psychological triggers tonight that you can use whether or not you ever study with me. Next, we know that we have to master our physiology. This is our body. This is our health. This is how are we controlling and conserving and building up the energies within our body and our spirit, right? It's how do we take care of ourselves, from what do you eat, to how do you sleep, to how do you hydrate, to how do you open up the energy in your bodies, to how flexible are you, to what is your amount of stamina, to simple measurements of VO2 max, to how hydrated you are, to what's your vitamin D levels. All of that fits in your physiology. And boy, isn't this interesting now? You've got a world right now that is absolutely fascinated with figuring out better health. You know, we've understood that McDonald's is not going to fuel the energy that we need throughout our lives. So we started changing. We started saying, wow, let's get back to the basics here. Let's have a whole food, plant-based diets. Let's focus a little bit better on the healthy stuff, the organic stuff. Let's move away from these weird foods and move back to what we know will fuel our body over the long term. Let's stop eating candy bars and Doritos, and let's start moving towards things that sustain us and taste good. But I think we've also gotten sane about sleep. I think we've also gotten more sane about hydration. I think we've also gotten more sane about supplementation. And now we've got this whole new beautiful area of physiology that I hope you've been paying attention to, which is mind and brain supplementation. Your brain needs specific supplementation to fuel it, to allow the neurons to grow faster, to speed up the communication between synapses, to help you recover from old concussions, to help you deal with tragic events, to help you connect with people. Look, if your serotonin levels suck here, then guess what? Your relationships are going to suffer elsewhere. Our physiology is our body, is our brain, is our health, is our energy levels. All that fits there. We're going to talk about some of that tonight. And that is an entire week of study in High Performance Academy. Another one that we pay very close attention to is productivity. Now, I know you all know that, a lot of people follow me for this singular reason because they say, geez, if you just do what this guy says, you're going to cut your time in half. And it's true. I think anyone watching this, by the end of tonight, you're going to say, I know I can get 30% more done next week. Without question, I know you'll be able to achieve that. But it's not just about getting more done. It's as Drucker told us, it's not just about, doing things right. It's about doing the right things. That a lot of people, they're very productive. Their day's agenda is filled with busy work, but their busy work is not their life's work. So you have an entire culture right now. They're actually very effective at nothing that matters meaningfully. It's like, wow, look at all these things I looked at today, but nothing happened. Or the average American now who's watching 4 hours of television per day, 3 to 4 hours of television per day. Not that the TV is on, that they are watching it. And that over a period of time leads to 13 years in front of the television, 24/7 over the adult lifespan. Could you imagine spending a decade of your life in front of the TV? And that's what the average is now in America, a decade or more. That same time, if it had been applied to their relationships, that same time, if it had been applied to their art, to their hobby, to their joy, to their family, to their income. I mean, even just they worked a little bit of that at the average earning level, they'd earn another $800,000 in the course of their lifetime, sincerely invested at a not a very high rate. You're talking about another $900,000. You're talking about $1.5 million plus of lost income opportunity just from watching 4 hours of television. But maybe your productivity issue isn't TV. Maybe your productivity issue is all those blue links, all those YouTube videos, those podcasts, all those things that you get wrapped up into, unless they are furthering your personal development, furthering your cause, your mission, your relationships, the depth and joy of life. It's time to start removing some of those things. A lot of us can get a lot more productive if we just simplify it again. I am the guy that says, you know what, you're probably doing 50 things and you probably need to do 5. And if you got back to the fundamentals and you got discipline on the fundamentals. See, most people lack discipline because their energy is dissipated. It's dissipated across so many things. And if you have so many things that you're trying to cover, you're wiped out, you're exhausted, it's hard to be motivated. But you get back to a core element of 5 to 10 things done really well. Now it's energizing because you're developing mastery. And where there is mastery, there is motivation. Another piece that we have to cover is your people skills or your ability to persuade, your persuasion skills. People or persuasion. This is about how are you managing your relationships? How much influence do you have with the people who you need to influence? Do the people who you need to believe in you, buy from you, support you, cheer you on, love you? Do these people support you fully? And if they do, man, you know how life can feel. It feels extraordinary. You're connected, you're happy, you're thrilled, you're moving forward. If not, then you're in this place of like, I don't have the group support I need. I don't have my family supporting me. Or even if you have all these things in line, and a lot of people have all these in line, they've got their mind, their body dialed in. I know a lot of health experts who are stuck because they can't get out of their way or they can't get a team to support them. And because they never developed those skill sets, their personal life taken care of without the skill sets applied to the top of it, they never reach what we call high performance. So we'll talk about that as well. And then the last piece of all of my work, if you ever studied everything I do, it's all about this last bottom piece, which is purpose. I'm here doing this work with you, not because I just love to shoot videos, though I do, but because, 19 years ago this year, I had an accident when I was a 19-year-old kid that taught me that at the end of our lives, we're all going to evaluate this in some way or another. And I know you already know that, so I'm preaching to the choir here that, without a sense of purpose, what is the point of all of this? My sense of purpose was after realizing that at the end of our lives, we're going to ask whether or not we really lived and whether or not we really loved and whether or not we really mattered, whether or not we made a difference. I mean, think about it. If you're not living fully today, if you're not loving the people around you and in love and giving love, if you're not making your difference or making a mark, even if it's just to make somebody smile and laugh each day or recognize something or contribute something, then what the heck are we all doing? And I learned that as a young man facing my own mortality. I'm sure some of you watching this, you face your mortality too, or you've lost somebody you cared about, and it made you just look at life and say, I better get, serious about life. And I hope that tonight, in some way or another, we get some of you feeling it's time to get serious about life again, to get back reconnected to your purpose. Or if you're unsure what it is, to at least say, you know what, I got to find it now. Some of you at some point, to get high performance, you got to go on a walkabout. You got to go travel a bunch of different cities, different countries. Some of you have got to quit a job. Some of you have got to leave a relationship. Some of you just got to get back in again, into the moment. You've been so distracted with everything, you haven't felt life for a while. So the high performance isn't there because you know where high performance is alive? In feeling, in emotion, in the engagement with life, in the moment. That's where it comes from. And so we got to get you there. And to get you there tonight, I'm going to teach you a trigger in each of these areas that's going to help you reconnect with life. That's just going to help you reconnect with the best of who you are. And I know you don't need me to do that. I mean, you could literally just sit down tonight and say, geez, what do I want my life to be about? But one thing we learned about high performers is they are absolute nuts about getting more clarity in their life. And that's why they achieve more than most people. They have a higher degree of clarity. They know who they are, what their intentions are to interact with other people, what makes them strong, and what they want to achieve. Because they have all those things firing off, they're able to achieve more than the next person and live a different quality of life. And that's all I want for you all. I know a lot of you have already, I'm getting some signals from my team here that you've already joined, and this is going really great, and I appreciate you all being a High Performance Academy, but I want to add some value to those of you who may ever not get to experience that. I hope that tonight you'll take the risk with me. You'll say, you know what? I'm intrigued by this idea that maybe there is another level for me, even if you're already successful. Even if you already have an extraordinary marriage, what would happen if you learned 2 new things that made the marriage that much better? What if you already have an amazing business and you're crushing it? You're doing a couple of $1 million a year, but you learn one thing that takes you into the 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 million. What happens when you get one new idea, one new tool, a set of new beliefs and behaviors that takes life just up a little bit? 10%, 20%, 30%. For some people, doubling and tripling. If we can get you there, then the only way that happens is at some point you make a commitment to say, I need to go to that next level. I sense that. And whatever you're doing tonight, look, if all you did is you just wrote these areas down and said, I'm going to master them. I'm going to read books in these areas. I'm going to take notes and journal in these areas. I'm going to reflect about my life in each of these areas. If you'll just get disciplined in these areas, you'll start to touch the rim of what we call high performance. But what I've learned now in teaching and educating on this specific topic for 9 years straight to people all around the world from over 50 different countries, through over 100 million post views online, is that we need a discipline in these areas. We need to go deep. We need to get them. And not just one thing. We need a big perspective. Now, I know I could change any person who watches. When you go through High Performance Academy, our 5-week online training, when you go through the online training, that's enough. But what I want to do with you all, and this is the only time I'm ever going to do this, I'm actually going to guide you through an entire year of brand new high performance studies and training, so that by the end of this next 12 months, you wake up and say, that was the most extraordinary growth year of my life. Because think about, when was the last time you had that? When was the last time you looked back to a year and you said, that was the most extraordinary growth year of my life? And not because life threw some crap in front of you and you just learned how to deal with it, but you architected it. You built it. You said, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to give you that plan. And matter of fact, when you enroll in High Performance Academy tonight, I'm going to give you a couple extra special ideas and strategies that just might take you to a whole other level. So with that, let me jump into some of the trigger training. And as I jump into trigger training, I'll come back over, take some of your questions. So I'd love to encourage you right about now to start posting some of your questions. You kind of have the big picture. Now I'm going to go into each of these areas for the rest of the night. But I would love to ask you, if you can, just start posting your questions so that when we take a break here in a few minutes, I can start compiling them, my team can start compiling them, and I can just sit over here and just quick fashion answer a bunch of your questions. So please be thinking about your questions, be posting them down below. If it's related to High Performance Academy, my team is here in the forum. They'll go ahead and answer the question. Please remember to refresh your page here once in a while so you can see responses to your questions if you have them. And then just start posting them so we can start compiling, okay? Let me give you a couple simple triggers. And we're going to get more and more complex as we go throughout the night. The first ones will be very conceptual, if that's okay with you. And then we'll get a little more tactical. I just want to start the conversation because I found if we start high level for you, your mind starts generating its own ideas, and then we'll keep landing that plane and make it even better for you. Let's just start at very high level in psychology for now. And let's talk about a very specific trigger that we've got to develop for you. And I'm going to give it context, and then I'll go into the answer. And here's the context. And I promised this in the email. I said, let's talk about one of the #1 fears of achievers. What do you think it is? What's the #1 fear of an achiever? I want you to think about that for a moment. What is it? I've asked some media moguls this. I've asked some people who you see on TV literally every day. I've asked some people who are well known for their music. I've asked some people who have $100 million plus businesses. I've asked some people who were former presidents of the United States. I've been asked this to a lot of different people. What do you think the #1 fear of a high achiever is? Someone who really is already striving for their best life and wants to do that, but there's something maybe preventing them. What do you think that fear is? Well, from psychology, we know that there are 3 primary fears that we all have, right? They're all related to a type of pain. One is called loss pain, meaning we're scared we're going to lose something. I'm scared I'll lose my identity. I'm scared that I will lose my position, my fame, my knowledge, my money, my business, my wife, my kids, right? I know lots of people are scared to change because they're scared they might lose something. They're also scared because of process pain. They're like, hardship scares them. It's going to be too hard. I can't manage it. That process will be too difficult for me. They're also scared of outcome pain or disappointment, meaning I tried to do all those things and it didn't turn out as well. The grass is not greener, as they say. The outcome didn't turn out. We're all scared of those 3 things. But here's the weird subtlety. that high achievers have, and you let me know if this is true for you. Their fear is actually a fear of the next level of ambition in their life. It's like Marianne Williamson taught us. It's like sometimes our fear isn't about what's wrong with us. It's about the strength within. It's that the real issue is we're terrified of our power. And a lot of people are terrified of that next level of ambition. What they're really scared about is they have a bigger dream or they want more, but that ambition, they want more. They feel guilty about it. They're scared of it. They're like, if I want that, then what does that say about my life now? Or they say, you know what, I want that. It's a bigger ambition for me, a bigger contribution, a bigger life. But if I go towards that, you know, I'll lose what's comfortable. It'll be a big risk. I might not be able to, not be able to make it. It's that next level of ambition that they're scared of. Believe it or not, I found out over and over, people are actually worried. People are actually scared about their full potential because they think to step into that, they might lose their family relationships because they'd have to tear away or work a little harder. They feel like they might take a risk that might not turn out well. Or it's simply this. They're scared that they're not enough or that they will be enough to handle the challenges of that new level of ambition and contribution. And by the way, if you don't like the word ambition, I understand. A lot of people have a weird connotation to that because of the late 80s, So that ambition became a bad thing, where if you look back prior to the 80s and you start studying, philosophy and psychology from days gone by, way back in the day, ambition is something to be celebrated. Look, you can't be a better father without ambition to do that. You can't become a better mom without a heightened ambition to increase your ability as a mother. You can't become a better caregiver, a better person, a better team leader, unless your ambition says, I want to be better. I want that. Look, at the base of growth is always ambition. It's always there. There's always something there, a higher ambition. And people right now are scared of their higher ambitions because what happened? We had the early part of the century, we had big ambitions. The economy was going, everything was roaring. Then we hit a bubble, bam. Then we started going again. Then 2008, bam. And people feel like, up, down. So they're scared to start accelerating again. A lot of people who are very much more capable than they are not giving that right now. So now what's happening? They're developing restlessness. They're developing cynicism and pessimism. Do you know sometimes some of the most extraordinary high performers, it's so easy to unlock them? Find a pessimist and unlock them. Turn that energy towards something that's positive and help them realize that all that cynicism and pessimism, it's really fear. But that same energy applied to something constructive, boom, there's this growth. So how about your ambitions? How big have you been thinking for yourself? Because most people aren't thinking big for themselves right now because they're scared of loss, hardship, or disappointment. What they're really scared of is they're not going to be enough to handle this next level of ambition for themselves. And you know what? For many people, it's absolutely true. And I don't mean that flippantly. I mean, it's true. They're not doing the work now to get the new knowledge, the new skills, the new talents, the new tools that will allow them to achieve that. I want you to know, what is it you desire? And start retooling right now. What do you want to go after? Start studying right now. What's the next level for you? Enroll in High Performance Academy. Whatever it takes for you, you got to go, yeah, man, if I'm going to go to another level, I got to increase my ambition again. And here's what you have to do. It's a very, 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 very simple thing. You got to give yourself permission again. We've got a lot of really good, caring, smart people who haven't given themselves permission to dream again. They got knocked down and they never allowed themselves to dream again. They had a tough go at it. They never gave themselves permission to try again. They never gave themselves permission to fail. They never gave themselves permission to not be perfect. They never gave themselves permission to feel scared or inadequate or vulnerable to try to do something important. And I don't know where you're at right now, but that next level for you, it's going to require an extraordinary amount of permission. You giving yourself permission to take that step again. You know, and so that's going to introduce this first psychology trigger, and I'm just going to call it, for now, it's a very simple, basic concept. I'm just going to call it a trust trigger. That's all, a trust trigger. What you have to learn to do is listen to the sounds and the thoughts in your mind and observe them a little bit, not detached, but just above. To listen to how your thinking is going. And every time it gets doubtful about who you are or what you're capable of, automatically trigger a statement to yourself that says, I'm going to give myself permission. I'm going to trust myself right now to take the next step. And then take the next step. I know it's so simple, but here's the thing. I can predict how much trust you're going to have tomorrow based on how much you've had the last 3 years. If you haven't trusted yourself, swing big, I mean big, in the last 3 years, you've missed one of the greatest rides in the US economy's history, in the global economy's history, because you got scared. So you didn't trust yourself to take a risk. If you didn't take a risk in a relationship and that relationship left because they said, you know, I just don't feel like you're open to me. You didn't trust yourself. You didn't trust yourself that you would be okay. And maybe you don't need this conversation right now. Maybe it's just too heavy for a webcast at this time. Maybe Travis is like, this is getting deep, dude. But maybe this isn't what you need to hear from me right now because you think, dude, I'm fine. I'm super successful. You know what? I've never been able to sit down with a real high performer and said, let's talk about how much you trust yourself. Let's look at your actual behaviors to see. And you know who the most frozen people in the world I keep finding over and over and over? Fortune 500 executives. They stopped trusting. They stopped trusting themselves and their team because they got judged, because they got made fun of, because the numbers didn't come out. And slowly they started pulling permission away from those big ideas and those big dreams, from those big concepts to be shared in the next meeting. Who else? Small business owners. They're like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just not sure that I can trust somebody to run this system. I'm not sure I can trust somebody to do this. And at the base of all of their challenges, they're not getting the support around them, as we'll talk about later on, because they never had a trust trigger. They never learned to listen to themselves and say, where is this doubtful place, and what if I trusted myself? I mean, what would happen today if you trusted yourself? You trusted your ability to develop high performance in your life. You developed a trust. You know what? I trust that in the next 12 months, I can live a different level of potential with some guidance. What would happen? Well, I know what would happen because you're not the first person who's watched me. I've been blessed, you know, over 200,000 people have taken my online courses and video series in one way or another. I can tell you, people change their lives. You can look up me all over the web. Try and find somebody whose quotes, whose videos are more shared and more viewed in our genre in the last 5 years. It's not because I figured out video. It's because people are coming to a point in time where they're looking for that next level of advice that's based more on neuroscience than some guy in a shower saying, oh, I had a breakthrough. I mean, come on, we need a little bit more discipline in knowing what works. And knowing what works to get you to trust yourself at that next level, it takes work. That will be part of my job for you. If you enroll in High Performance Academy and you don't feel like in the first 5 weeks that we've fundamentally shifted your psychology for the better, ask for your money back. If it's not the most advanced training you ever had in psychology, ask for your money back. That's the guarantee. World's best. If it's not the world's best, ask for your money back. If you don't trust anyone, trust me. I ask for your trust tonight because you have 100% 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not in love with the program, don't think it was the world's best, ask for your money back. But here's what I need you to do. Listen to your own doubts in all areas of your life, not just here tonight. All areas of your life, and just go, where am I not trusting myself? And if I was going to achieve that next level of success in my life, what area would I have to give myself more trust in? And what steps could I take to prove I trust myself? You ever seen a kid who's a big talker about up with his friends? They're on top of a cliff. You know they're going to jump into some water. Right? They're a couple feet up, 10 feet up, 50 feet up, 5 feet up. All the kid's got to do is jump into the water. Big talker. All of a sudden, when he's at the edge, you can really tell who trusts themselves, don't you? There's those kids who stand there and go, I can handle this, and they jump in. Other ones can't handle it. They stand back. Soon all their friends are happy, playing, proving it works, and they're just stuck there. Now you can apply that metaphor in every area of life. If you know anyone who's succeeding further beyond you, I promise you they have a greater access of self-trust. And they took the actions to prove it. I mean, you take a look at a Richard Branson and how much this guy trusts himself, even though he knows he's going to fail. To bumble in, to make a big mess, to try something out, to see if it worked. If it didn't work, oh, okay, it didn't work. Shoot, dang, try something new. The most innovative companies in the world, the most trusting cultures in the world. You have to develop this ability to trust yourself and take that next level of action. So here's a simple question. What is the next level of action for you in your personal well-being, in your career, in your relationships? What's the next level of action that would truly demonstrate you trust your capabilities? What would it be? For you, a different way of saying it, what's that next level of confidence for you? If you were more confident in all the main areas of your life, what would you do tomorrow? If you were more confident in your relationship, if you were more confident at work, if you were more confident in your business, if you were more confident with how you handle yourself and project yourself, what would you change tomorrow? That all comes back to an issue of psychological trust. Developing a trigger that says, if you just don't believe you can, to let your mind go, wait. Because you know the difference, the primary difference between successful people and unsuccessful people? Unsuccessful people say, they see something, they see an idea, and they say, oh, I can't do that, I'm not like that, I don't have that, or I don't know that. So they stop. Successful people say, well, I don't have that, I don't know that, I haven't built that either, but they begin because they take that as their to-do. Because they trust themselves and their ability to go create, they progress. Versus those who don't trust themselves, who stop. And if you've ever found yourself stopping a lot, especially when you should begin, please enroll in High Performance Academy right now. Because if you figure out this area of your life, which is what I'm going to help you do, if you get your psychology humming so that you get your complete confidence back, you get clarity about what your life is all about, but the confidence comes back in. That joyful, engaged, ready state of mind that is only accessible to those people who figure this out. If you tap into that, each day becomes extraordinary. Not once in a while, not January when you stuck to your goals for 30 days. Each day, like once your psychology is fine-tuned, you get a momentum that you've always wanted. People always ask me, Brendan, I just want momentum. I go, then just master your mind. That's how you get momentum. It's your own self that has been getting in your way, and I know you know that. So develop a trust trigger. How can you take a series of actions and trust yourself even when you have self-doubt? How can you hear the self-doubt and say, wait, I'm going to trust? What could you set up? Could it be a journal activity? Could it be a series of affirmations? What could it be for yourself? Do your own thinking here. You got to develop that for yourself. You've got to master this. Experiment, and you'll be rocking. Okay, so in a moment I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to start focusing on your physical vitality. And I'm going to give you some simple things, from some supplementation to some simple basics to get 30% more energy tomorrow. How is that for a big promise? In this break, what we're going to do is my man Travis is going to run some folks talking about High Performance Academy. Again, if you did not hear We're closing enrollment this Friday. So this week, we are closing enrollment to High Performance Academy 2015. This year's High Performance Academy is all new. It's just starting this next Monday, and it is never going to repeat again. It is all new training. I will never make this offer again because I've gotten to a stage right now where I get the ability to work with world-class teams. I get the ability to work with world-class multimillionaires, some of the highest achieving media moguls in the world. They take up a lot of my time. And I love working with everybody, but I can't do it. So I'm going to take you and this group, everyone who enrolls in the class tonight, for the next 12 months, an entire year with me. And we're just going to ramp up every area of your life to degrees you never imagined. But you have to sign up tonight because I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to do this live webcast stuff ever again. It takes way too much time in setup, in structure, in technology for now. For what we're doing, I can't do it. So I'm not going to do it in High Performance Academy basic course ever again. So you're basically getting a very advanced High Performance Academy when you enroll tonight. Again, there's a 100% guarantee. You can go ahead and click the button below this video and there'll be details about this next, about enrollment. I would love to have you enroll tonight, and if you do, I'll give you a very special bonus. I know a lot of you are business owners and you're like in this place of like, is this High Performance Academy also going to help me in my career? This year's High Performance Academy, I'm going to build in a lot of new strategies for you to grow your business as well. What's a high performing business even look like? We'll talk about some of those core concepts, yes, this year as well, but only if you enroll tonight. So go ahead and enroll, but ask any questions you have about the program or about anything I've talked about so far, or any questions you have about high performance in general. When we come back, I'll answer your questions. We'll spend about 20 minutes answering any of your questions that you got. I'll give you a couple quick tips. We'll jump right back into now getting a little bit more tactical as we go through the night to get even more specific of just some basic things you can do. I hope that this has served you and you've enjoyed it. We'll roll some folks talking about High Performance Academy so you can make your decision to join us tonight. Thanks everybody so far for a great webcast. I'll talk to you in a few moments.
Brendan Burchard is just the very best in high performance training, personal development. What I find is he takes the common sense and he puts it into a framework so that we can actually use it in our everyday to grow and to move forward.
I'm here at Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. Now you got to come to this event. I'm telling you, Brendan is so authentically energetic, enthusiastic, energizing, and so savvy on all the things that make you a high performer. There's so much here. I mean, even for people who think they've got it all figured out and dialed in and that are performing high in their life, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
I have a much clearer idea and a much better plan and a clear pathway of what I need to look at, what I need to measure, how I need to change, and more specifically what habits and thinking habits particularly, what I need to put into my life so that I can change the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I behave. All of this wrapped up into one package is going to definitely change my life.
It's been so far 3 days of off-the-charts training. Just the stuff that Brendan gives us is actionable, it's real, it's content-driven, and Brendan is great at not only motivating you to live at a higher level, to perform at a higher level, but he gives you the framework and the actual strategies to do it.
Brendan, oh my gosh, he is a blessing. He connects the dots in what we struggle with. It has opened me up. I woke up this morning just alive again, and I recommend this for anybody, any walk of life, any place they're at. I'd like my adult children to come. I think it would be a wonderful, advantage for them. I've heard people walking the halls talking about, wow, I've got 4 kids at home, and these things I'm going to start now. So it's just amazing, and I am grateful.
This year, my charge to myself has been to, when presented with good, better, and best choices for myself and for others, to always choose the best. And that's been my charge for the whole year. But I'll tell you that I didn't have all the practices that I needed in order to implement that. So I found myself in a huge rut. And let me just tell you that now I have not only a 6-month action plan for the practices that I'm going to implement in order to really take that charge seriously and be the best person that I can be at home and in my business. But I also know exactly what I'm going to do every day when I get up out of bed all the way to when I go to bed at night. And let me just tell you that that is invaluable, because it's the small little decisions that really make such a huge difference.
I'm here at High Performance Academy with Brendan Burchard. Like many of you probably already know, and you've seen the videos and everything, that guy just gives everything in every video. Well, it's everything and more in person. I've learned so much here that I had no expectation to learn from him and the people that he brought on stage. Would I recommend it? Absolutely.
This event has been one of the most incredible, life-changing events that I personally have gone to. Brendan means so much to me and what his teaching is doing that I've taken with me my family of 4 kids and my husband to be at this event with me. He looks at not only what is important, what's important to focus on, how to manage your time. He looks at all the mechanisms, what drives you, what keeps you interested in things, and just really gets us to level up and change our game. If you're looking to change your game, if you're looking to take your life to the next possible level, then this is the place to be.
And all I can say is, oh my goodness. So I've been following this guy for a little while, and who he is on that stage is powerful beyond belief. I had no idea what I'd be walking into, and I just cannot wait to put into all these practices tangible tips, techniques, tools that I am learning and implement them into my life to really bring my game up to the next level. If you ever have an opportunity to work with this man in any of his programs, I cannot recommend him highly enough. I am taking on the 60-day challenge. I am bringing the joy to my life. I am going to commit to making the change. This is my new demarcation line, and I can't wait for what's in store. Thank you, Brendan, and hope to see you here soon.
Brendan attracts the most incredible people in the world, people from all over the world. And this is my first time at High Performance Academy. And I feel so great being here, just from the energy, just from the incredible people, everything that I'm learning from him. And what I'm getting is like these tools on how to like shortcut, you know, the learning curve. Like Brendan's done it. Brendan is this incredible expert, and I'm getting all the time and all the struggle that it took him to get to where he's at. Like this.
I've taken a lot of personal development classes because I want to be the best I can for my patients. But when you're listening to Brendan, you leave like just wanting to be the best person that you can be. He just has so many valuable tools and tips that I really feel like I can actually finally make a difference in the world, because I took everything that he said and I'm like taking it to heart and really paying attention. For 4 days, it's the most amazing training that I've ever been to. This is going to be the stepping stones for me to make it to the next level.
If you have a chance, everybody says walk, don't run, sprint, fly, jump, hop in a boat, swim across the ocean, make your way here as best you can, because you will never, ever, ever forget it. You'll never also ever regret it.
I believe in the struggle. I honor the struggle. I honor the journey. Like, if it was so easy, it would not be worthwhile, because it would not stretch and activate the best, strongest energies within us.
There's so much here. I mean, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting-edge information here that you don't want to miss.
Give me high performance. Give me an evenly sustained energy. The thing that lives within us, that burns in our soul, that is always alight. What new breakthroughs in neuroscience, positive psychology, and high performance studies can I use to master my mind and feel more alive, confident, and focused?
Yes, we've been learning about the secrets of psychology and physiology, how to get more out of ourselves. I feel like the tips and the tools and the strategies that I've learned will be worth 10 times anything that I've invested to be here.
How can I power up my physiology to fight all fatigue and stress I feel in my body day by day?
He has given us strategies, He has given us hope, He has given us vision, He's given us all of these things that you just can't get anywhere else.
What real-world, day-by-day productivity strategies can I use to aim my efforts, get more done, and achieve my dreams faster?
He gets you. He like reaches into your heart and squeezes it and has you not only with like the philosophy, but the practice and the processes and the notes and just the extraordinary amount of content. And then he just shoots you off into the world ready to make all of that happen.
How do I become more persuasive and influential at home and in my career, with my family, with my friends, with my loved ones, with those that I serve and lead?
Brendan Burchard is one of the best teachers I have ever had the gift of being in the presence of. He's masterful, he's creative, he's on purpose, he's on target, and beyond all of who he is, his mission in life and his actual fulfillment of that mission is to bring that out in each of us, and he's done it for me.
This is High Performance Academy, advanced psychology, physiology, productivity, and persuasion training for today's high achievers and leaders.
Brendan Burchard is just the very best in high performance training, personal development. What I find is he takes the common sense and he puts it into a framework so that we can actually use it in our everyday to grow and to move forward.
I'm here at Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. Now you gotta come to this event. I'm telling you, Brendan is so authentically energetic, enthusiastic, energizing, and so savvy on all the things that make you a high performer. There's so much here. I mean, even for people who think they've got it all figured out and dialed in and that are performing high in their life, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
I have a much clearer idea and a much better plan and a clear pathway of what I need to look at, what I need to measure, how I need to change, and more specifically what habits and thinking habits particularly, what I need to put into my life so that I can change the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I behave. All of this wrapped up into one package is going to definitely change my life.
It's been so far 3 days of off-the-charts training. Just the stuff that Brendan gives us is actionable, it's real, it's content-driven, and Brendan is great at not only motivating you to live at a higher level, to perform at a higher level, but he gives you the framework and the actual strategies to do it.
Brendan, oh my gosh, he is a blessing. He connects the dots in what we struggle with. It has opened me up. I woke up this morning just alive again, and I recommend this for anybody, any walk of life, any place they're at. I'd like my adult children to come. I think it would be a wonderful, advantage for them. I've heard people walking the halls talking about, wow, I've got 4 kids at home, and these things I'm going to start now. So it's just amazing, and I am grateful.
This year, my charge to myself has been to, when presented with good, better, and best choices for myself and for others, to always choose the best. And that's been my charge for the whole year. But I'll tell you.
Right. All right. Hey, we're back live. How's that? I mean, internet. Okay. So thrilled to be back here with you guys. I've got my laptop open to your page to take some of your questions. I want to thank you all for posting so many comments in here, and also celebrate you for enrolling into High Performance Academy. Some of you over that break. I mean, awesome. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a thrill over these next 5 weeks, followed by a full year of monthly live coaching with me to take you to the next level of your life. The whole group, every single month, live. Me coaching people live. You getting to hear it, experience it, feel it, transform yourselves. It's going to be an extraordinary year where I give you the same tools, same methodologies as I give all of my highest performing clients, athletes, and business folks. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take some of the questions here, and I'm just going to literally, I don't have an order to go. We just compiled a bunch of them, and I'm going to go as fast as I can. Courtney asks, says, I try and listen to self-help videos and or meditations every day, but sometimes I can't find time for a few days. So my question is, what can I do so I don't feel like I'm always starting over from the beginning? I mean, isn't this a great one? I mean, how many of you have ever felt like you had some momentum and then it stopped? And the reason it happened is you never developed what we call a high performance habit. It wasn't a routine. It wasn't fixed enough in your life with understanding of why you need it, why you're doing it, and when and where, and it wasn't protected. A lot of us have, for example, a hobby, but we never protect it, so we stop doing it. Some of the most important things we can do, including our personal growth, is make those sacred times that cannot be interrupted. If meditation is real for you, you're going to do it every day. Now, people say, well, Bren, that's impossible. I'm like, really? Seinfeld does it every day. Oprah does it every day. Howard Stern does it every day. Ellen DeGeneres does it every day. They find time to do it. They make it part of their sacred time where no one can get at it. And so if you have a personal development practice or even a personal health practice that's important to you, you got to designate where that time is and make sure no one can touch it. That's the time that it happens. Like for me, my workouts, that's the time my workouts happen and no one messes with them. And everyone knows when there are who knows to need them. Like those times can't get interrupted. That's vital for you to develop that. It must be a fixed time with fixed regularity, protected. And if it's not, then you know what? It just becomes casual. And you and I both know anything that's casual. Look, lots of people casually decide, I'm going to learn to ride a unicycle. And they try it 5 times and then it's out in the yard. So, just me? Unicycles? Anybody? Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if it's not important to you, you're not going to stick to it. Make it important. Fix a time. Develop a routine. And if you bust it once, don't quit and go, well, see, that didn't work. Go back. Develop the discipline of the habit to stick to it. We'll talk about more of those strategies in High Performance Academy as well. Teresa says, what tips would you have to help a take-charge person let go of some major responsibilities? 2 years ago, I had a brain insult, I think she's saying here, or injury. And since I've had some cognitive issues, I need to help, but finding it difficult to hand over the reins. Any control freaks watching right now? Learning not to be a control freak is one of the most important parts of becoming a high performer. Now, the odd thing is, you say, well, wait, Brendan, I thought you're going to help me become more disciplined in your program. Oh, we are, but disciplined towards those things that matter. And what we end up finding is a lot of things that we think matter and we are so controlling over, later on in our lives, we're like, I can't believe I was so controlling over that. Well, you might be facing that in your business right now. I mean, have you empowered your team enough to support you? Have you empowered those around you to develop the skills to have the decision-making authority and trust to support you to the next level? Are there any areas of your life where you truly believe you're the only one who can do something? Because if you do, that's where we got to get back to the board and master your psychology, because that's where your ego has taken over the reign of your life and not you. And so here's how you do it. You do it in baby steps. I wish it could be more advanced than that. But you do it in baby steps after you learn to hire and find great people to support you. It's hard to hand over the reins to an idiot, right? And that's what happens to a lot of people. Their ego is threatened by A players, so they don't hire A players. They hire B and C players. Or they surround themselves with people who are just below their level, not above their level. High performers learn to surround themselves with people who are better than them, who are more extraordinary than them. And it takes a lot to hand over that. Trust me, like right behind, you can't see, but right behind the camera right now, we've got my man Travis Shields, who has been doing my videos since 2009. Yeah, I used to do all my videos until I met Travis by myself. And I did him. Even after I met Travis, I still did a few of my own once in a while just to see if I could. But he was better than me. And that's why I hired him. And that's why we became friends. And that's why I refer people to his course all the time, because he's got that talent and that eye. And if I'd never gotten out of the way of thinking I had to edit and do everything myself, none of us would be here. 40 million views wouldn't have happened this last year and a half. It is difficult, but once you learn how to hire great people and evaluate great people. And by the way, if you didn't know this, in High Performance Academy, one of the elements of productivity, we give you my hiring guide. I'm like, here's how to hire people. Here's how to identify A players and work with them. And here's what's necessary to develop a great, phenomenal team so you can be more productive and effective. That's in High Performance Academy. The same things I look for when I hire someone, the same things I would teach a major company to hire people, it's all in there. There's so many tools, so many worksheets, so many things that you can use to actually better your business and your career. You'll be blown away. Jim asks, how is this different than the old High Performance Academy program? It's entirely different. The only thing is we take on the same topics. I will always, in High Performance Academy, address your psychology. That's a big bucket, right? I will always address your physiology, your productivity, your people skills, and your purpose. Those are the fundamentals of what high performance is, period. If we don't master those elements or begin mastering those elements, we can't reach our full potential. We must master those areas to develop that next level to have breakthrough. But in each of those buckets, there's a lot of play. There's a lot of room. There's a million ways I can go and talk about physiology. I'm always learning what's the latest science? What's the latest thing we can talk about? What's the latest diets? What's the latest supplementation? What's the latest things we can do to get forward ahead? I mean, when we did the last High Performance Academy, you know, I think about it, it's like smartphones weren't as ubiquitous as they are today. You know, we're going to be in a place where 3 billion new people come online in the next couple of years. We've got a lot more overwhelm to deal with today than we did 2 years ago. Would you agree? And if you do, then you know that we need some new skill sets. You know, we need a deeper level of engagement in how to deal with stress today than we ever have. We need a deeper level of training to help people achieve higher ambitions in a time when commodities and the marketplace has become so just bombarded. I think it's a time when a lot of people, I think, really got beat up over these last 2-3 years, and they don't know where to go. So this is high performance from the ground up, and it's also, I'll share from a personal perspective, I'm in a different place. You know, I've come further. You know, my business has exploded, as you've seen. I've had to learn to manage and to go to that next level personally. But I've also been blessed. I've had clients over the last 2 years who were at levels that I never got to coach before. You know, I'm coaching people now that, I mean, I never imagined I would. People on covers of magazines, and that has happened for me because I've gotten access to a whole new level and stratosphere of people. And in coaching them, I've developed new frameworks. I've developed new tools. And so I've refreshed it. So I would say this High Performance Academy, this entire 5-week training, it's probably a good, 80% completely new. Again, covering core concepts that are necessary for all high performers, but new tools, new strategies, new support, new system even. It's a different game. I got new cameras, Also, you get 2 tickets to the live event. The live event has been completely reimagined, and you also receive monthly live webcast training from me. I've never done live webcast training ever for any group, ever. I've never given customers live training on a monthly basis, ever. And where I'm actually interacting and coaching. Right now, I can't coach with everybody because we've got so many people here, but that new program, that's the biggest thing. People are like, why should, that's the #1 reason. Because for the next year, I'm just going to up-level your game every single month at levels we've never gotten to do before, where I couldn't support the group this way. We also have a new technology to have a private community with this class that we've never had before. Not a Facebook group. A different way of interacting online that really has just been invented literally in the last 60 days. I'm really excited about it. Let's see, John asks, what's the difference? Okay, I already answered that one. Elaine asks, what would you say for people that are struggling with their motivation and facing a lot of barriers to achieving success? How do you overcome those barriers to achieve high performance? Great question, Elaine. There's 5 elements that are going to help you overcome them. There's skill sets, and we all face them, by the way. It's not original to anybody. High performers become high performers because they master those elements of their life, but in specific ways. One, they develop greater clarity. If you've got a lot of struggle and a lot of unknowns in your life, then clarity is the most important thing. What is it you want of this next level of your life? You got to really hone in on that and figure out what that is. To overcome struggle, I've never seen anything more important than developing more energy. We'll talk about how to do that in a few minutes. We've got to get another level of bravery. We've got to get you moving swiftly. We've got to be moving you into a point, if you're not already there, where you're taking on 2 or 3 big steps towards a goal every day. Like big steps, meaning reaching out to somebody you don't know, meaning trying something and putting up a video, like trying to do something that, like literally unknown big steps on a continual basis to break that pattern that says, I'm struggling, I'm going to stop. Because that's the number one thing to deal with when you're struggling, is finding those thought patterns that are allowing you to keep stopping. Because no one wants a life of start, stop, start, stop. That's peak performance. Start, I'm in my peak, I'm in best. Valley, peak, valley, peak, valley, peak, valley. And it's exhausting. I don't know if you've ever had to do that. It's exhausting to go at the top and have an amazing week and then a slow week. An amazing week and a slow week. It's debilitating. We got to get to high performance, and the way to do that is the master things we'll talk about. So I'm going to get to your question here in a little bit. Some of these things, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just going to defer to when I get back to the flip chart, if that's okay. Let's see, so many questions. You guys are great. My question is, can you please tell me how to really link my life to a dream or big vision that will help me wake each morning empowered? I hope that you will reply. This is from Comey, an 18-year-old high school kid. Great question. How do I wake each morning empowered? This is going to be a different answer than you might expect at this point in your life, Comey. You're going to wake each morning empowered, not based on what a lot of people will tell you in sort of the hypey parts of personal development. You're going to wake each morning empowered because you're going to have a routine each day. Empowerment doesn't just come from knowledge. It comes from habits. And it's essential. We're going to talk about a couple of them over here. If you don't have a habit that you're running on like empowerment comes from having a plan. It's why I give you all this. When you join High Performance Academy, guys, I give you this. It's a $50,000 high performance plan. Literally. I'd charge $50,000 for this. It just gets your life it's the plan. Follow this plan. Follow it for overcoming self-doubt. Follow it for supplementation for your brain. Follow it for what to do on a daily basis to manage your inbox. Follow it for what to do in terms of realigning your relationships. It's very detailed in the most important parts of your life. I give that because I realize people need a plan. Otherwise, you could wake up the most motivated, driven person. Because here's what people say. Start with your why. Know what your why is. Okay, I wake up. I know what my why is. Why is it that at 1 o'clock I am doing nothing? You know, lots of people have a big why, but they don't do anything because they don't develop routines and habits that make them get into the rhythm of momentum. Momentum doesn't just come from motivation at an intellectual level. Momentum comes from effort. And what's going to empower you isn't a thought. What's going to empower you is a behavior. Doing things. The best way to feel real motivation is to be getting momentum every day. Because when you feel like you're getting momentum every day, you're like, hey, I'm moving along here. I hope that helps, and I'll cover some of those things over there for you too, Comey. Great question. Let's see. I love this. Eugenia says, I've been able to achieve high levels of performance, but through many twists and turns of life, I feel like I've lost my way. I'm here to find out, how do I get back on track? I'm recovering, and now that I'm balancing out, I don't know where to start. It's like getting dropped back in the middle of things that happened when you were in a coma. And you know, I know a lot of people deal with that, Eugenia, and a lot of people have that similar questions I've read through here. Is I've had a car accident, what's the best way to get going again? Other people, I've had this situation, and I don't know what to do. And a lot of people really struggle with that, and it's a great question. And all I can share with you is it's going to take some focused time for us to talk through some questions that you have. You know, and what I mean by that is, I don't know what your general specific situation is. It wasn't in your comment, but I'll address this for everybody. Part of that piece of psychology and feeling good and feeling back on track again, I'm going to take you through a process in the 5 weeks of training, the first week, to just help identify where, not just like where are you. That's interesting, but I think everyone watching, you know where you are. You know what your bank account is today. You know if your kids like you. You know if you're having sex in your marriage. You know if tomorrow you're likely to get shit done. Like, forgive my language, we kind of have to, we know where we are. That's not always necessary. The question is, where to now? Where to now? Based on all these twists and turns we've all felt in the economy and our business and our life, where do you really hope to be? Who do you want to truly become now? You know where you're at now. Where next? What's that big thing for you? That's where high performance really comes from. Again, that increased level of ambition to get there. So we're going to go through a clarity process to help you find exactly what that is. If you don't know, I mean, hey, look, anyone can I mean, literally just go to the personal development or the psychology aisle in the bookstore, read a bunch of books, and through that process, you'll start finding it. My job is to shorten that learning curve for you. That's why you enroll in a high-level program like this. It's so I can shorten the learning curve for you. Now, I had a good question here from Isabel asking if that live coaching offered, is it one-to-one or group coaching? It is group coaching. It's group coaching, so I'm not going to be able to get to everyone's questions per se in each month's live call, but everyone in my course can ask me questions. I'm in there every week responding. So anyone can ask their question and I'll reply in our forum online. Then when we do the live webcast, which will be just like this, but we'll be in a different, smaller forum with less questions and a different way for you to submit questions in advance. And then I'll be able to see some of you and interact with you. So if Isabel has a question that's specific, or Virginia or Raquel or Ryan or Jake, you guys, when you have specific questions about your life in real life time, I can do Q&A with you where I can see you and the group can see you. So it's a different animal. Does that make sense? So yes, it's group coaching, but it is truly highly individualized because I'll be taking questions one-on-one with people. I'll also be taking your questions in Access. Is the private community, is the online training lifetime access? It is. When you sign up for High Performance Academy, you're going to get the 5 weeks of online training. And once you go at your own pace, look, maybe you're busy for the next 5 weeks and you're like, dude, I can't go through that. Still, sign up tonight because we'll roll out the 5 weeks, but then they're in your members area for life. That means you get to go at your own pace. Then when we do those live webcasts, don't worry if you miss one, I'm going to record all of them. And after they're recorded the next day, we'll put them in your members area as well so you can watch them. So if you got coached and you had this big breakthrough but you weren't taking notes, go watch yourself get coached with me again. If you just completely missed it, you can access it and watch it all the time, anytime. And this year, unlike any time before, we're also, all of those, we're going to put the MP3s in there so you can download the MP3s and have them on your phone and listen to them while you're working out. It's the first time we've ever done it with any of my trainings, so I hope you'll enjoy that as well. So yes, you get lifetime access to that as well. For the Facebook, I don't have a Facebook group, it's a private online forum. We're using a more advanced technology than Facebook groups, so it's private and you don't have to be served up stupid ads and stuff. You will have access to that with my private highest level clients and myself and those members of High Performance Academy 2015 in that members area for a full year for free. That's pretty amazing stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go one more and then I'll go over here, guys, and I'll come back to your questions. These are really great, really great. Let's see. Raquel from Brazil. I know we have a lot of people from Brazil, and if you're on, thank you for staying up late, and thank you as well for being here. I'm a huge fan. We've got a lot of high performance students down in Brazil. It's an honor. If you guys didn't know, High Performance Academy is traditionally 40% international. So for people around the world, you know, if you've ever been to High Performance Academy, if you want to come to the live seminar, remember you get 2 tickets to the live seminar. We have one in October, and then we have one in 2016. You can attend either one, I don't care. But here's the thing, when you go, if you go, you don't have to go. If you end up going, it's a bonus. You get it as a bonus. No one has to go. Remember, most of High Performance Academy 2015, it's the 5 weeks online training, and then me live over the internet with you for an entire year. But for those of you who want the immersive experience or to network live with people or to get my latest stuff live, because nothing transforms your life like a live experience, you can come to that event with 2 people. You only have to pay a one-time $97 materials fee, but not the tuition that is usually $1,000. After the live event, though, if you don't get to attend a live seminar, no sweat, because what I'm going to do with you is this. I'm actually going to do a live webcast event after the seminar to do a full recap and summary of the live event, to teach the core concepts from the live event, and literally just like this. So you will take notes, ask questions like this in a much more obviously private. Right now, there's tens of thousands of people who register for this webinar, but when we do the live classes like that, much smaller, obviously. So we'll go through that. Her question from Brazil is, I have a lot of subjects that I want to master, but I think I lose focus and then I can't accomplish anything at all. How can I surpass this? How do I choose? I'm not able to choose and I get frustrated. Thanks for your help. Raquel, in High Performance Academy, I'm going to give you opportunity evaluators, we call them, which are basically tools to measure, like, which things should I do? Because the difficult choices in life aren't between right and wrong, they're between right and right. I like both of these things. How do I choose? And there's a lot of criteria I'm going to give you to give yourself point scores to know. And that's a lot of High Performance Academy. Look, we could all guess, but what I've done is I built these tools to help you rate yourself and come to a definitive, logical conclusion that will support you in your fulfillment, that's based on science, based on decision-making theory, that's based on work that is beyond just like, I think you should do this. That's where I've made my career, is digging into the science and helping people figure out, here's how to make a good decision for yourself. So we'll be doing a lot of that work. Okay, guys, I know I probably went too long on that, but you guys have a lot of questions, and I appreciate it. So Patricia, Vince, Laura, Brittany, Renazar, I'm going to come back to your questions in a bit. I'm going to go over here, teach some, okay? Then we'll do another break. Then I'll teach some more, and we'll go from there, because we have a lot to cover here, okay? I really do have a lot to cover. I promised that I would do. So thank you guys for your patience, for your amazing questions. Let's hit on over here. I'm going to grab some water. We'll rock and roll. Thank you, Travis. Okay, some great questions, some great teaching. Here we go. Physiology. What are some things you can do for physiology to get your energy at that highest levels? Well, there's some simple things, and I'm going to give you some basics, okay? And I hope these will really support you. Excuse me. First and foremost, everything that we know about your physiology is going to come to making sure that you have routines. And I'm going to give you specific triggers, but we got to have routines that will really help you manage your energy. Right? Lots of people, they're just not managing it. They're just showing up and going, I kind of feel good. I want you to have extraordinary levels of reserve, right? I'm like this annoying all the time, you know, because I build up these routines that develop my energetic, emotional, and spiritual and physical bank account of energy, if you will. And here's a couple simple routines that you can set up on a triggering basis. Some just happen. Like, there's a morning trigger you should have. It's morning time. What do you do first? That's a trigger, right? If then is a trigger. If I wake up, I'm alive, then what do I do? Let me give you an example. Wayne Dyer, I think one of the great personal development trainers of all time, period. I know we have a lot of Hay House fans in the webcast tonight, and I appreciate you being here. And I love serving you guys because you guys get so much of the work that we do. And a huge fan and appreciative of Reed Tracy and Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay, the whole Hay House crowd who has been so supportive of me and phenomenal in working with. If you know Wayne's story, Wayne wakes up in the morning, he rolls over to his side, and when he puts his feet on the ground, his trigger is feet touch ground, close eyes and say, thank you. thank you, thank you. That's his morning trigger. Wakes up, feet touches ground, places himself in a state of gratitude. And by placing himself there, he's framing the day in an appreciative mindset, which, as you know, makes all the difference in the world. All your relationships, all your wife wants from you, all your husband wants from you, what your kids and your team wants from you, appreciation. And so we have to learn to develop triggers for that, right? He's developed an overall trigger that's a morning trigger. My morning trigger, if you didn't know, and what I'll teach you and what we put in the performance plan, wake up, drink a full glass of water, and go stretch for 10 to 20 minutes. Find somewhere in the house where you can stretch for 10 to 20 minutes. I stretch every morning for 20 minutes. Why? It's just a trigger. It opens up my body. It gets me feeling alive and loose and flexible. It anchors me into the energy of my body, so it will sustain throughout the day. Most people, what they do is they use a stimulant to get them going. They use coffee. And if you want a performance tip, stop drinking coffee in the morning. I know you think, are you kidding me? That's just from your addiction, not from your biology. Let me say that again. Your need to drink coffee in the morning is from an addiction, not biology. Matter of fact, did you know your cortisol levels and all your hormones are fired off in the morning in a natural way to support you to be amazing in the morning? The difficulty is we interrupt that. We interrupt it by not sleeping enough. Did you know if you just sleep another 50 minutes tonight than you slept last night, your cognitive scores will improve tomorrow by double digits. Just 50 minutes more of sleep will help you get there. Vital. Boy, I better stay on track here. Another physiology trigger is blocks of time. Well, all I want you to do is set up on your phone a 50-minute timer. Every 50 minutes, when it goes off, stop what you're doing, get up or stretch, whatever you're doing. I don't care what your job is. If you're a nurse, I don't care. If you're a police officer, I don't care. No matter what your job is, I want you to have a timer on your phone that goes off every 50 minutes. And when it goes off, if it's possible and safe for you, or within a near window of that 50 minutes, find a place, go to the bathroom, go outside, do whatever you have to do, open up your body, stretch. If anything, just stop what you're doing. Close your eyes. Take 10 deep breaths in. That's all. 10 deep breaths in. I'll do a little qigong, a little stretching, maybe a little walk around the house or around the block. Get a drink of water, sit back down, go back. That's a timed physical trigger that I'm going to re-energize myself. It's absolutely necessary. You might have a bed trigger or a time trigger. I develop with a lot of clients who have trouble sleeping. We'll develop a time trigger. Like 10 p.m. hits, the alarm goes off on their phone that tells them take their CalMag pill, calcium magnesium pill. Take that pill, turn off their phones, stop watching TV, read a little bit, take a stroll outside in the dark, come inside, make sure the house is dark, slowly take deep breaths, get ready for bed in the dark, climb into bed, lay in bed, take a bunch of deep breaths. It's just a routine they're running to sleep better. All these things, we teach lots of these different methodologies, ideas, concepts, from supplementation to little patterns, routines you can do in High Performance Academy. Again, enrollment is closing this week. Please sign up tonight. Don't wait another 2 or 3 days because you'll forget. Sign up tonight. Make a decision to support your physiology, your psychology. Let me coach you. 100% guarantee. If you don't find this to be the greatest personal development program you've ever been through, ask for your money back. I'm totally cool with it. But let's get this game going. Let's get you to the next level. You already know, easy as I'm saying some of this stuff you say, yeah, I know that. But you're not doing it because sometimes common sense isn't common practice. But my job is tonight, look, I don't have the benefit of knowing all of you. And I don't have the benefit tonight of having started off on the same foot with all of you because you're coming from, some of you have seen my videos online for years and some of you are just here. So I'm covering some of the common things or the big things, but in the course, I have the benefit of we all start class at the same time. So I'm able to cover some fundamentals and then progress very, very, very fast with you. That's why I need you to enroll in the course. It's very different than what we're doing just here tonight. Tonight, I got a lot of questions to cover, a lot of promises to keep, a lot to cover here in content. It's difficult because I know you're all coming from different walks of life. And that will be true in the course, but we all start on the same place in the course. That's why the online course gets such advanced results for you, because I can start you on the same page in a really intelligent, high-level group of people who want to support each other and go to the next level. So please sign up for that tonight. Don't keep waiting to advance your life. Let's just do it tonight, okay? So let me give you a couple more. Productivity. What's a couple very, very, very simple ones? One, my favorite one is this one. If you don't have one, you need one. Your panic trigger. What does that mean? A panic trigger is to know the moment you go into overwhelm or panic, right? And we all know it, but what do? Have you ever felt like overwhelmed and you just kept doing what you're doing? That's called stupid. Okay, I thought that was funny. Even Travis laughed. When you get panicked or highly stressed or overwhelmed, stop doing what you're doing immediately. I mean, literally stop. It is killing your productivity. And this is what people keep doing. They're sitting at the computer, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Check another inbox, Twitter, YouTube, email, over here. And they're flustered and they stay in the storm. And so they never break free. And the storm just picks them up, vroom, takes them wherever they want to go. And they're like freaking out, man. If you find that, I want you to develop a trigger. What are you going to do when that happens? What's your routine? Like simple ones. Like if I find myself, I feel that sense of anxiety or that sense of overwhelm and panic come in because I'm dealing with a lot of things, I'll just stop. Even if it's in a conversation with people. I'll say, you know what? Can I come back in here in a second? Are you guys all good? Yeah? All right, let me come back in a few minutes. I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. And I'll literally walk away. And I'll go somewhere if it's appropriate in that context. Or if I'm on my computer, same thing. Holy crap, lots going on. I remember I was doing a live webcast one time. Everything broke. And I freaked out. I started trying to do everything I do. Oh, ah! I was running, I was screaming. Literally, I'm running around the house in a total panic. This is years ago, before I learned a lot of these ideas of how to manage everything in my life. And I literally was like running around the house like head cut off. Now, in those moments of craziness, you have to learn how do you recover the stillness inside? How do you find the peace in the chaos? And you have to have a routine and a habit for that. For some people, that means when that anxiety and overwhelm is, remove yourself from the situation, go stand somewhere, close your eyes, stand in a strong, dignified position, take 10 deep breaths in, reconnect with your purpose and the outcome that's important to you, remind yourself of the human you want to be, say 4 or 5 important things to yourself, and go return. Other people, because the pace that they're at, we need to meet them there. And I'll discuss this. It might be a style you have. So we'll cover it in High Performance Academy in the online training. It might be a style you have. I'm not going to have you go into deep breaths. I'm actually going to have you speed up your breathing so that you catch up to your brain and you flood your brain with a different level and intensity of oxygenation. And we'll move your body in a certain way to catch you up to that anxiety. Then you can slow it down. So it just depends on who you are, but you got to have that trigger that says, all I want you to do is say, just from now on, every time you feel anxiety or overwhelm, stop what you're doing. And if it's appropriate, remove yourself, reconnect, then come back once you're clear on the outcome and what you need to do. Don't stay in it and try to do everything. It's making you a hot mess. And you don't need that anymore in your life. That's why you're not producing enough, is because in this time when we have so much lack of information, there's a lot of incomplete information, a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty. And so what do people do? They try to manage it all by doing everything. And sometimes the best thing you do to be more productive is stop doing so much. Stop. And find the 2 to 3 things you need to do. And that usually takes a little bit of reflection, a little bit of planning, a little bit of thought, maybe a little bit of questioning of other people, and then reinsert. It will absolutely change your life. If you change how you deal with overwhelm, stress, anxiety, panic by setting up a trigger that happens every time, guess what? You develop confidence when it happens because you know what to do. Even if you don't know how to handle that exact situation, you know how to get a hold of yourself. Once you get a hold of yourself, you can get a handle of the situation. Next, your people trigger. Very, very simple one. I love this one. As much as you can develop a panic one over here, I want to help you develop a patience one over here. I hope that you sense that in some of these things that we're talking about, even though we're very basic tonight on the webcast, these things aren't just making you a high performer, they're making you a better person. I mean, isn't that what we're all after? We all want to be role models. We all want to care for the people around us. We all want to connect with everyone around us and do good. We want to get out of our own way, and sometimes we just need support. And I know this was just a specific webcast about triggers. We cover so much more in the course, but you know, one of the best things you can develop is learn to listen. Here's the trigger. It's a tone trigger. A tone trigger. And what this is I want you to start paying out. Let's just start with the most significant person in your life. Let's say it's your wife or your husband or your lover. Okay, if you're in an intimate relationship. If you're not, then pick your best friend. If you don't have any friends and no lovers, please choose like, what do we got after that? Dogs? No. Cats? No. What do we got? We've got lovers. We've got, maybe you have an unfortunate sibling. And okay, so let's just choose somebody in your life. And here's what we want to do with them. I hope you know I'm teasing you guys. High performance should be fun too. I hope you're enjoying this evening. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to listen, just pick one person, and I want you to make it a project to listen to the tone of venting. When they're venting, it might sound to you like they're complaining, or forgive the language to use lots of your languages that I'll hear from clients. They're bitching, they're complaining, they're venting about something. I want you to listen and identify that specific sound, because trust me, they speak in a specific tone. And I want you to learn to listen to that tone. And when you hear that trigger, I want you to teach yourself to take in 4 deep breaths and say an intentional thing about that specific person. So simple, I know. But for example, sometimes my lady will come home and she's just venting about something. And I have to take a couple of deep breaths in, and I'll say something to remind myself to connect with her, to give patience. And I'll just wait. And that trigger is tied to response. So I hear tone, I give a specific response that demonstrates patience, right? And you know what most people want from you, by the way, in patience, in people skills? Just your undivided attention for 10 more minutes. That's all they want. Your undivided attention for 10 more minutes. If you can just give them that, put the phone down, put the need to go reply, check, tweet, whatever you want. Just give them 10 more minutes. That's it. If you can give someone 10 more minutes of real presence, you'll develop influence with them at levels that most people never experience. Even if you're a boss and you're like, how does this apply to my career? Here's how most people, when they see someone, hey, how's it going? Good, okay, like just spend a few more minutes with that person. Make it a real live interaction where it's significant, and guess what? Everything shifts. Now, I know these are very simple concepts, and I have a lot more to share with you guys tonight that we talked about, from some simple things you can do to avoid afternoon crashes, to how to handle big problems, to how to overcome your fears. I got a lot more bullet points to do here, and I want to cover some more of your questions. So a couple things. In this next break, we're going to play again some things about High Performance Academy, hopefully answer your questions, get you excited about it. Enroll tonight. Please don't wait and miss out. This will never be offered again. If you've ever wanted to work with an elite level coach and trainer, I'm the highest paid in the world for this, for a specific reason, and you'll see it in the course. And if you don't believe it, after you go through the course, ask for your money back. But we made this very affordable. You're getting me for an entire year. You can come to our live event. If you can't make our live event, no problem. I'll do a live webcast right after the live event to teach you the same things. And I'll give you 5 weeks of unparalleled, world-class performance training to help you reach your full potential. So during this break, we're going to play some stuff. Please enroll in the program. When you enroll in the program, you will see all the details just by clicking this button, and we'll take care of you. I look forward to serving you that, Travis. Go ahead and roll those testimonials. We'll be back. Please post your questions in the comments down below. I'll get to a bunch more right after this break. Thank you all.
Brendan Burchard is just the very best in high performance training, personal development. What I find is he takes the common sense and he puts it into a framework so that we can actually use it in our everyday to grow and to move forward.
I'm here at Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. Now you gotta come to this event. I'm telling you, Brendan is so authentically energetic, enthusiastic, energizing, and so savvy on all the things that make you a high performer. There's so much here. I mean, even for people who think they've got it all figured out and dialed in and that are performing high in their life, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
I have a much clearer idea and a much better plan and a clear pathway of what I need to look at, what I need to measure, how I need to change, and more specifically what habits and thinking habits particularly, what I need to put into my life so that I can change the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I behave. All of this wrapped up into one package is going to definitely change my life.
It's been so far 3 days of off-the-charts training. Just the stuff that Brendan gives us is actionable, it's real, it's content-driven, and Brendan is great at not only motivating you to live at a higher level, to perform at a higher level, but he gives you the framework and the actual strategies to do it.
Brendan, oh my gosh, he is a blessing. He connects the dots in what we struggle with. It has opened me up. I woke up this morning just alive again, and I recommend this for anybody, any walk of life, any place they're at. I'd like my adult children to come. I think it would be a wonderful, advantage for them. I've heard people walking the halls talking about, wow, I've got 4 kids at home, and these things I'm going to start now. So it's just amazing, and I am grateful.
This year, my charge to myself has been to, when presented with good, better, and best choices for myself and for others, to always choose the best. And that's been my charge for the whole year. But I'll tell you that I didn't have all the practices that I needed in order to implement that. So I found myself in a huge rut. And let me just tell you that now I have not only a 6-month action plan for the practices that I'm going to implement in order to really take that charge seriously and be the best person that I can be at home and in my business, but I also know exactly what I'm going to do every day when I get up out of bed all the way to when I go to bed at night. And let me just tell you that that is invaluable, because it's the small little decisions that really make such a huge difference.
I'm here at High Performance Academy with Brendan Burchard. Like many of you probably already know, when you've seen the videos and everything, that guy just gives everything in every video. Well, it's everything and more in person. I've learned so much here that I had no expectation to learn from him and the people that he brought on stage. Would I recommend it? Absolutely.
This event has been one of the most incredible, life-changing events that I personally have gone to. Brendan means so much to me and what his teaching is doing that I've taken with me my family of 4 kids and my husband to be at this event with me. He looks at not only what's important to focus on, how to manage your time. He looks at all of the mechanisms, what drives you, what keeps you interested in things, and just really gets us to level up and change our game. If you're looking to change your game, if you're looking to take your life to the next possible level, then this is the place to be.
All I can say is, oh my goodness. So I've been following this guy for a little while, and who he is on that stage is powerful beyond belief. I had no idea what I'd be walking into, and I just cannot wait to put into all these practices, tangible tips, techniques, tools that I am learning, and implement them into my life to really bring my game up to the next level. If you ever have an opportunity to work with this man in any of his programs, I cannot recommend him highly enough. I am taking on the 60-day challenge. I am bringing the joy to my life. I am going to commit to making the change. This is my new demarcation line, and I can't wait for what's in store. Thank you, Brendan, and hope to see you here soon.
Brendan attracts the most incredible people in the world, people from all over the world. And this is my first time at High Performance Academy. And I feel so great being here, just from the energy, just from the incredible people, everything that I'm learning from him. And what I'm getting is like these tools on how to like shortcut, you know, the learning curve. Like Brendan's done it. Brendan is this incredible expert, and I'm getting all the time and all the struggle that it took him to get to where he's at like this.
I've taken a lot of personal development classes because I want to be the best I can for my patients. But when you're listening to Brendan, you leave like just wanting to be the best person that you can be. He just has so many valuable tools and tips that I really feel like I can actually finally make a difference in the world, because I took everything that he said and I'm like taking it to heart and really paying attention. For 4 days, it's the most amazing training that I've ever been to. This is going to be the stepping stones for me to make it to the next level.
If you have a chance, everybody says walk, don't run, sprint, fly, jump, hop in a boat, swim across the ocean, make your way here as best you can, because you will never, ever, ever forget it. You'll never also ever regret it.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. I've got my questions pulled up in front of me here, and so thank you for everybody being back. Once again, I just want to thank you. Guys are crazy engaged here. This is awesome. You are the right person for High Performance Academy, so enroll. You know, if you're engaged this much and you love this conversation, if you are even somewhat intrigued by the idea that there's another level for you, for your well-being, for your relationships, for your career, then sign up for High Performance Academy today. This will not be offered again by Friday. It's gone forever. I will not be doing live coaching as part of High Performance Academy ever again. So this is your opportunity to work with me for an entire year, every single month, plus the 5 weeks of training, leading me into Patricia's question, will I have time to do another course? You know, she's like, I'm already in other programs. How do I know if I can handle everything on my plate? A couple things to know. High Performance Academy is an overall program. It's 5 weeks of online training. If you can't go through those 5 weeks of online training as they roll out, that's okay. They're in your members area for life. I'm one of the very few trainers in the world that gives you access to a program at this level for life. I don't take it away because I know you're busy. You know, I know maybe you can't go through 5 weeks in a row. Maybe you do 1 week, 1 month, another week, another month. Maybe you binge on all of it in one weekend one time after it's all rolled out. I know that you have to go at your own pace, and that's important to me. Every week that there is a new release, I will email you and tell you it's ready, and you can hop in there whenever you want. It's always there for you. The live webcasts are all recorded. We'll put them in there. You can access them anytime that you want for life. It's important to me that you can go your own pace. How do you know if you'll be able to handle it? All I ask, watch the first one. You watch that first one, you say, I've never seen anything at this level before. People tell us that all the time. Like, this is a different level of training. See, most people they've taken a personal growth class from, you know, someone in their local town, or maybe someone they saw on the web, or maybe they did travel across to see somebody, but they haven't had someone who's the highest paid in the world. And once you get up that level, there's different methodologies, there's different strategies, and I'm not braggadocious about it. I didn't plan to be that. I became that. It took me a decade to become that. It took me a lot of insights working with some extraordinary people to get there. I didn't know it was going to happen. It happened. I was fortunate to get the results for people, and the word spread. That's all I can say. So go through the first one, you'll see. Let's see. Ryan asks, what are some brain supplements or foods that you would suggest taking or eating daily? Ryan, it totally depends on your health. I can't give health advice here. I can give you some common supplements that people recommend for those that are very vital. Like, we absolutely know how important just very simple things, vitamin D, must. We know how very simple things is magnesium, a must. We know very simple things like if you're not already on your omegas and your omega-3s specifically, absolute must. Those three, if we can just get those, most people are facing true deficiencies in each of those, and they're really suffering the cognitive challenges from that. Another one that's so simple that you would laugh at, that no one does, hydrate. Your body needs more water than you actually think it does. Most people are not consuming enough liquids throughout the day, and if they are, they're drinking caffeines or diuretics that are actually pulling water from their body not hydrating and nourishing them. Those are absolutely essentials. But then you have things that can help your mental processing power, the communication between your synapses, the precursors to glutathione, the things that can help even your blood sugar so that your glucose is being absorbed better in your brain so that you have a little bit more energy and endurance over the course of the day. Those are vital. There's some things so those things might be like alpha-lipoic acid, N-acetyl-L-cysteine, alpha-carnitine. You could take things like huperzine A. You could take things like vincipitine that will help both with mood, blood flow, and energy support. Those are all great, very common, right? A lot of the precursors, the good types of choline that will help as a precursor to some of those things we talked about, blood sugar, glutathione, those are great as well. We talk a lot about those in the course. And if you didn't know, if those all sounded like, what the heck is he talking about? I'll cover a lot of those in the course when I share my story of recovery. I had a brain injury in 2012 that I think was the turning point in my own understanding of high performance. Because I had 2 years where I had a brain injury and I was struggling, with mental fatigue, struggling with insecurities, struggling with emotional and memory dramas that I hadn't had before because my brain was compromised. I had post-concussive syndrome from a major accident. And I'll share with you, I had to learn to get these high performance habits, change my diet, and supplement to recover from that. I had world-class advising from people like Dr. Daniel Amen and others neuroscientists who helped me understand what I needed to do, from enlarging my memory studies to be able to absorb more information more quickly, to challenging myself so that I could reactivate, other parts of my brain that were really compromised, in my injury. So I'll share lots of that story there as well. But the basics, please increase the basics. If you haven't read anything about all that, read Change Your Brain, Change Your Body. Great book by Dr. Daniel Amen. Covers a lot of the very, very basics. Really good stuff. Okay, let's see. I'll go back in here. Guys, this is great questions, by the way. Thank you very much. This is a great question. I hope Renazer, I don't know if I'm saying it right here, or Renati. How do I achieve my ambition or full potential when my partner of 21 years is content just being? He's a great human being, but we are not on the same page or book. He's the father of my children, and I just can't leave. I sympathize with that situation. We deal a lot with relationships in High Performance Academy because if you can't get the relationship supporting you, then it's hard. It really is, because the people around you can pull you down. I would say I don't know enough of that context, and that's why in the program it's important for these live coaching sessions to be going, where I can learn about the context, a little bit of background about where you two are. But I'll share some basics, and I'll just take it by the book, what you wrote. If he's content with just being, sometimes our ambitions don't have to be our spouse's ambitions. Sometimes our true desires don't have to be other people's desires. What we do need is we need support to pursue ours. Look, even in an interdependent relationship, there's still independence. There's still that strength of you have to be you, they have to be them. You come together and support each other. There's that link, but you're still vitally on your own. You're still independent. It's very important that you maintain your independent ambitions and allow the other person to do that same. The truth is, not everybody is at the same level of ambition. Look, there's a lot of people watch this tonight, I'll be frank, they're not going to enroll. They're just not at that ambition level of life where they're like, I want world class. They're not there yet. Some people are like, you know what, I'll go read a casual book. They are not truly invested in that big breakthrough yet. And that's totally cool. I work with that they watch my YouTube videos, awesome. But people who want to go to another level, that's a whole other, to enroll in a program like this, I don't take it casually. I know it's a big decision for you. It is a big decision, and I honor it, and I respect it. That's why I love my students so much, and I give them everything I got, because I understand their level of ambition is higher than most people's. Their ambition to become their best, to reach their full potential, to actualize themselves and their desires, their dreams, their contributions, it's higher than other people. And sometimes when we're with people in our lives who don't have that same, first we have to address this. Is that okay for them? I mean, everyone has joy and fulfillment at different levels. And we have to identify our own. Is it okay that that's his? No one has to be on the exact same page as us. What we do have to have is the same page of support. So you support his as much as he supports yours. And to get that level of support, let me share this. And I promise to share this too in the bullets of what we talked about this in this webcast. To get support from your family, your friends, to support your dreams again, two very important things have to happen. One, you must have absolute clarity on what it is you want and why. You must have clarity on that and why. Because you're going to have to be explicit in your communication in sharing that. And some people say, well, I've done it, Brendan. Did you share it in a supportive way? Did you share it in the context of the two of you talking about both of your ambitions, both of your dreams, with a supportive tone, not from the bitterness of yesterday, but from a new page together? Let me share with you the most important concept in the history of influence and leadership. It's this statement: people support what they create. If you can have a conversation, we'll teach you how to do this. If you can have a conversation, even if it's difficult, with your spouse, your partner, your team, your family, in a way in which they feel like they are creating the answer, feels like they're creating the vision, feels like they're a part of shaping tomorrow, then they will support it. When they won't support it is when they feel antagonism, bitterness, jealousy, fear about that next level, or lack of clarity. Sometimes the reason people don't support us is because they don't quite get it. They don't get what we want, why we want it, and how we might go achieve it. So they're actually just concerned for us. So they doubt us, or they say things that are belittling just because they're concerned. And we have to meet them there. I'll help you figure out how to know when they're there. But please, write that down. People support what they create. Help them understand the context of why what you're doing. And make it in the context of a conversation about the two of you talking about the future. Not just like, honey, I want this. Ah! You know, which is what a lot of people do. We got to change. You suck. Ah! It's like, oh my God. No, that's not going to be what we call a positive frame set on that. We need to teach you things, very advanced methodologies of influence called benefit extension. We need to teach you very advanced things called joy to depth bouncing. We need to teach you things called intrinsic, extrinsic labeling and tagging. All of that's very advanced stuff that we cover in the course. I think it will really, really support you. I hope that one, you'll never give up on what you want, but two, you'll get there together. Steve asked, Brendan, can you please describe how you will communicate with High Performance Academy students? I will communicate via email every single week that a new training is released. Also via email every single month, every time the live webcast is coming up. We'll let you know it's coming up. We'll tell you we're live. We'll send you the recording, and that will all go to your inbox. Then in the live High Performance Academy webcasts, we'll do every month again. When we do them every month, that's truly live, and we'll have a technology where I can see some of you, take some of your questions, and teach. And that will be much more dynamic, if you will. And then, of course, at our live events, we do Q&A and lots of training there as well. Doris says, I'm a mother, but I hesitate to forward some of your ideas to working moms because it just might not fit for them. And thank you for this free seminar. Excited to grow my business. And okay, great, awesome. Doris, I appreciate that and I understand that. And people ask me that all the time. Is this for like business people? Or is it for experts? Or is it for YouTubers? Because obviously my reach is so large. Like a lot of people know, I speak to all these different demographics. But everything I teach in this course, will everything work for everybody? No. If it did, that'd be amazing. And I'd charge like $10 billion for tuition. I'd be like, if I found like that golden perfect works for everybody, no, it won't work for everybody. So you have to always mitigate where you are in your life and what will work for you. For example, when I say to take a 15-minute break, for some of you, you're going to have to make it 90 minutes, just depending on your job. That's cool. For some of you, say, well, it's like, that's not going to work for mom because mom who has 3 kids, you know, she can't make prioritization like that. We need to question our assumptions. I don't know about you, but I don't have a high amount of respect for people who say that moms are any less busy or stressed or important or ambitious than a Fortune 50 CEOs. I'm sorry, but moms, If anyone ever needed to figure out high performance, it's a mom, period. Especially a single mom or a single mom with multiple children or a single working mom. I mean, there's no one who needs to figure out high performance better. Who's more important to figure out their psychology, their energy, their ability to handle the day's activities, and their ability to influence those children than a mom? So trust me, we have lots of moms. If you've ever been to High Performance Academy Live, let me just assuage your concern real fast with some stat. 60% of my students are women. I'm fortunate, not many people in our industry at all have that reality. Certainly not that reality of people who are doing online marketing or are out there in a major way online. Most of their students are men or career professionals. And not that women aren't career professionals. We have a very driven base of women and men in all of our programs, but I can share with you this, no one has to figure this out more important than moms. If you've got kids and you feel overwhelmed, fatigued, frustrated, or fearful, then you really have to dial in your high performance. Not all of it will work for everybody, because sometimes I'll be talking about business, but I always speak in 3 ways. All of my examples, you've heard me all night about doing this, I will do it more so in the course. There are 3 levels I will address everybody in this course all the time. Your personal well-being, who you are, right? That is your emotions, that's your psychology, your energy, who you are, your identity. Your well-being. I will always cover career. Now, I might not call it career, I might call it mission, I might call it job, I might call it business. But unanimously, to put it all together, to make it unified, career or mission. And third, I will always discuss relationships. Your relationships with your kids, with your husband, with your family. Those are the 3 circles of life. Us, our activities during the day, and our relationships. That's the 3 global major spheres, if you will, of life. And so every concept I teach, I always bounce off of those 3 examples within each one. So maybe, you're right, you don't have a job, and so you're like, that career thing, not relevant to me. But oh my gosh, that relationship thing, I gotta work on that. So you'll always find the place of relevancy, I promise that. Okay, now I need to thank you all for the questions. I need to do a couple things, and then I need to close and give you one last push tonight. Let me give you the push right now. For those of you who sign up tonight, and I know lots of you have been signing up all night, and I honor you, I'm going to do one extra thing. I have this other program. For those of you, I know we have a lot of people who are in business and say, I'd rather have high-performance business stuff. For those of the business people, I want to cover you as well, so I'll do this. I have a program called Business Accelerator. We've previously offered it $5,000. For the first time, in this offer, I haven't offered it in 2015. It wasn't going to be part of the offer. But for you, if you sign up tonight, and only for those who sign up tonight, I will give, because you're here live, I'll give you the Business Accelerator as part of that as well. That's an extra 5 weeks of business training for those of you who have your own brand, your own business, small business or large business, or a major career, and you're just trying to advance it. You need the Business Accelerator. It's a $5,000 previously offered program. I used to offer that in the old High Performance Academy, so I'll pull it into this one so that those who never got to experience the old one, you get one of the great benefits of that as well. That's a $5,000 program. You get it only if you sign up tonight by midnight, period. Sorry, only those who are live right now. Okay, let me cover a couple extra things I promised. 2 habit hacks to prevent afternoon energy crashes. 1, if you have caffeine in the morning, start pulling away from it. If you look, you're like, I can't, Brendan. I have 7 glasses of coffee in the morning. Okay, go down to 1. If you have 1, go down to half, go down to 0. Get yourself off of that coffee so you allow your hormones to take over in the morning to get yourself back in rhythm. And then if you're like, I absolutely have to have caffeine, then here's how to do it. After you have your lunch, wait an hour to have your lunch, sit down, do a little bit of work for about an hour. Then set your phone to go off. Get up, go for a walk around your building, then have a little bit of caffeine, if you're going to have caffeine at all. That will give you that supposed push through the afternoon, and it will be much more effective because you didn't do it in the morning. If you're going to do it in the afternoon, or you have any caffeine in the morning at all, or let me give you another way to do it. You want to increase your energy in the afternoon, have more fats, healthy fats, in the morning. have 20 grams of protein in the morning and some healthy fats in the morning. So if people are like, should I eat breakfast? Yes, eat breakfast. If you have a mid-morning break, let's say around 11 a.m., have some healthy fats, something with avocado as an example, you'll see that in the afternoon, your energy will be much more sustained. We'll give you lots of little examples like that as we go through. Another thing, another reason a lot of people bonk in the afternoon at 2 o'clock is because they've been staring, their eyes are obliterated, they're bleeding, they've been staring and they've been sitting, their back, their entire body structure is wrecked from sitting, staring for hours on end. The way to break that is what I taught earlier. Every 50 minutes, get up, get water, stretch, move. By renewing every hour, your endurance increases throughout the day. The reason you're bonking is you've been too sedentary for hours on end. Your body, your spine, everything's upset. It's not happy. If you can, get a standing desk. Work throughout the day, standing and sitting. Make sure every 50 minutes you're hydrating and moving around. You'll see your productivity and your energy in the afternoon go up. It is not about caffeine. I will share that 1,000,000 times in the program. Matter of fact, I'd rather have you take a brain supplement to get through the afternoon. I'd rather have you in the early afternoon take some B12, some D, as well as increasing something like L-carnitine, quercetin, or even some CoQ10. I'll teach about lots of different little things that you can do to move you through the afternoon without having to take a bunch of stupid stuff, right? I don't need you to be on uppers all day. I want your energy to be up because you've consistently done it. Another simple way to do it is to increase your cardio exercise throughout the week. Too many people have gotten this belief that they only need to work out for 15 minutes intensely once or twice a week and they're going to be fine. It's not. The fastest way to increase your overall stamina mentally throughout the day is to increase your cardio routines. If we can increase your lung capacity, we increase the oxygenation going to your brain. We increase your oxygenation blood flow to your brain. Scientifically, we know you have better mental performance throughout the day, period. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see, boy, we did a lot of this stuff. Oh, how to instantly reset your vision and confidence after a setback. So you're disappointed, you're bummed out, and you feel down, and so you eat 7 barrels of Haagen-Dazs, and you don't call anybody for 9 days or shower for 4, And we've all been there. It's like a total setback, total failure, just wrecked. First and foremost, take a break. It is absolutely okay to take a break. People get so guilty about taking breaks today, and it's like, no, it's okay. Take a breather. If you had a major setback, it's okay to take a break a day or two. It totally is. But the thing is, don't feel sad for yourself for those day or two. Yes, a couple moments or a couple hours of sadness and just kind of bummed that didn't work out. That's totally natural. But if it endures, that's just poor management of the mind. And so here's what you need to do. Allow it to feel, oh gosh, and here's what you need to do. A couple things. Very simple. Make sure you take a break, get outside. Start going for a walk every single day for 30 minutes outside, especially after a setback. Get outside, get perspective, get some breath work. If you can exercise, get some workout routine in. We all know that helps recover. We all know how vital that is as well. Also, what I want you to do is get around your friends. The supportive ones, only the supportive ones. So when the break happens or you're upset about something, take the break, renew, but then get around people. It's vital. It's friggin' important to get around people. Just go to lunch with people. Even if you have no agenda, even if you don't want to talk about it, get around humans and just get in that social support system. Even if you don't talk about it with them, though I encourage you to do it, you'll feel better. You will absolutely feel better. There's just no question. You'll feel a lot better. Next thing, manage your nutrition. There's no more important time ever than to eat healthy and to eat 3 healthy meals throughout the day than when you're bummed. Because what happens is people eat very irregularly when they're bummed, and that irregularity that leads to, well, irregularity, but it also leads to sugar crashes. it leads to bad glucose. It leads to bad blood sugar. Low blood sugar means less decision-making power, means less ability to overcome the stress and anxiety. You got to get like the first thing when I'm bummed out, I go, what am I going to eat? Not like, what can I eat? Like, can I just eat a bunch of stuff, comfort food? It's like, no, I need to start thinking. I need to go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of produce. I need to focus on my meals for a couple days. If I can't win at anything in life, I can win at cooking fresh, whole food, organic foods. I know I can do that. And by focusing on that one, just getting those little accomplishments of making healthy meals for myself for 3 days after a setback, it gets me back in state, back in a good physical energy that I can handle the things I need to do mentally. Then when I get around friends as well, and I take a moment to just think about, what should I learn from this? And I turn my mind from the thoughts that it's disappointing to it's something that is discovery. And I think, what could I discover about myself and now implement? And then the last piece is, the next question is, what's my next 3 goals? And start living each day to accomplish 3 goals. For some of you, that might be major down. Look, if you get a divorce, you're wrecked, you're upset. Showering counts as a goal for some people, right? Other people, it's like, okay, a goal. I got turned down today. I'm going to call 10 people tomorrow. That's a goal. But you got to have a goal. You got to set up at least 3 goals that you're moving towards each day. So think about this. You're getting outside. You're fixing healthy meals for yourself. You're seeing some friends. You're learning from what you need to learn from, and you're setting goals to advance yourself forward. Watch. I know it's so simple, but common sense is not common practice. That's the difference between high performers and stragglers. High performers say, yeah, I know there's some fundamentals, and if I put them into my game, I get better. Just like in the NBA, you master your free throw shot, you get better at everything. There's fundamentals. When you master the fundamentals, you master life. So please enroll in High Performance Academy tonight. I'm not making this offer again. I'll never give this much support to a community ever again. I just can't. My business has exploded so much, and I've got so many other opportunities, and I love you guys, and I'll always put out online courses, but a lot of my online courses are going to be non-interactive moving forward. You can take them at your own pace, but I'm not there with you. This is me with you, live, every single month. This is me at my highest levels every single month. If you haven't heard about what the total offer is, here it is. It's 5 weeks. You can click the button and see the same thing, but I'm going to tell you right now. So go ahead and click the button. You'll hear me walk through it. This is 5 weeks of mastery level training that I would usually charge $2,000 for. You're getting it half off tonight. Plus, I'm giving you these 5 bonuses. 1, this $50,000 performance plan. Look, just enroll just to get this next week. That's it. I'm going to give you to download, right? I'm not shipping it out to you. I'm just going to let you download so you can have it on your phone or you can carry it in whatever way is most meaningful to you. You can print it out. Just enroll for this. This is $50,000. What does someone give that's $50,000 of value as a performance plan? Look, I know people who are doing financial planning who don't charge that much. That's because this is elite stuff. This is about your overall life and getting it set up on routines, habits that will help you achieve that next level. Then again, I got you the 5 weeks of online mastery training. You get 1 year of live coaching with me, this whole class. I'll send out a reminder. We'll all get on. I'll coach somebody live. I'll take questions live. I'll teach something new and advanced every single month that I've never, ever taught before. All new. Nothing of anything I'm teaching the next 12 months have I ever taught before. Frankly, it was always reserved for my best clients. Now you guys get it. Next, you get the intervention kit. Everyone asks about this one. Bonus number 3 is the intervention kit. I'm actually going to sell it this fall for $5,000. I'm really excited about it. I've never offered it. It began, if you haven't heard the story about it, it began because my friends, who are all pretty high-achieving folks and pretty amazing folks, but they would call and they said, Brendan, I just got in a fight with somebody. How do I solve it? Or, Brendan, I just lost my job. What do I do? Or, Brendan, I just had this disappointment. How do I recover? And they were asking me to coach them through some very common life situations. My kids just left. I feel down. I just had a major setback. I don't know what to do. Or, Brendan, I just got this major opportunity and I don't know how to decide if it's right for me. These are all real life situations, and here's what I did for them. I recorded these MP3s that I would send to them, and they could listen to it. And what I did is I went back and I compiled all those that I've sent to people. I found the best ones. I listened to them. I thought, what else could I say to make it even better? I re-recorded all of these, and now you get them as an intervention kit once we finish the 5 weeks. So now we finish the 5 weeks, and almost any situation that could possibly come up for you, you just like, I just had a fight with my spouse. What do? Go listen to the MP3 called I Had a Fight with My Spouse. You know, download it, listen to it, and it's literally me having an intervention with you anytime a major life challenge or opportunity comes in, so that you get me right there on demand coaching you through that situation. I've never offered it before. It's awesome. And this is your only chance to get it. And this bonus is not offered anywhere else. It's never been for sale. You only get it if you sign up by Friday at midnight. So why not just sign up now? You know you already want it. If you're still here, please do that. Sign it up. It'll make me feel better about life. Okay, next. Private community, bonus number 4. This is a private community with me and all those who are in this class with us. And it is not a Facebook group. It's a different place where we can all go and sign in and interact and create together, where there's no ads, there's no weird stuff. And it's not social media. It's a private forum that you've probably never seen before. Literally, the technology didn't exist 60 days ago. I'm very blessed to know the creator of this technology, and it's a phenomenon. I mean, it's a game changer. So I'm very, very excited to put you all in this with me, and you get access for a year with me in there. You can ask me any questions for a year right in there, and you guys can create and contribute and share and ask questions, you know, help each other go to the next level. I know you already probably know, you know, a couple dozen amazing, extraordinary high achievers in your life. What happens when you meet a couple hundred of them? I can tell you, the networking in High Performance Academy alone has always been worth it. I mean, especially if you come to a live event and you meet all these people. I mean, these are my peers in these rooms. These are my best clients in these rooms. These are you guys in this room. People with high levels of ambition to be the best mom, to be the best career person, to be the best business person, to be the best human that they can become. In all walks of life, sitting there with you. I mean, that's a peer group. And that's what's gonna take your life to the next level. The next bonus number 5, the 2 tickets to the live High Performance Academy seminar. Now we have 2 events. We have one coming up, I think it's the October 8th weekend. It's in Santa Clara, California. But we also have one again in 2016. And you can attend either, I don't care. We'll send you the dates. You get to choose. You get to bring somebody with you for free. They don't pay the $1,000 ticket, nor do you pay the $1,000 tickets. And there's more. Once you attend, now if you want to come to the live event, again, you don't pay the tuition. We do ask you to pay your materials fee. That's important. You know, you got to pay for your binder. So I'm not out the $1,000 seat and you actually show up. That's important. That's respectful to the community. But the other aspect about it is, if you can't ever make the live event, that's just a bonus. I wanted to give those who wanted to come and make it free. But if you can't make the live event, that's okay, because right after the live event, I'll do a live webcast out to the rest of the group who couldn't attend. And yes, if you attend, you can watch the live webcast too, where I'll give you a recap of the core components of the live event, because it is additional training that I don't teach in the online stuff. And so now you're getting that full experience from me no matter what. I've done everything I can in this session here tonight, in this program, to get you to that next level. To enroll in all this, it's $997. So $1,000. You can make multiple payments. When is the last time you had world-class coaching from somebody who was earning over $10 million a year, from somebody who reached 3 million people every day, from somebody who had the ability to work with some of the highest level achievers in the world? It's not an accident I've been on Tony Robbins' stage or shared the stage with Richard Branson, Arianna Huffington, Steve Forbes. You know, I can name drop all day. The point is, I know how to do this work, and I'm only doing it now at this point in my life because I love it, guys. I know what will happen for you. You will see after this all these people talking about, wow, I had no idea about these strategies, these tools. I didn't know, look at this and this. You'll hear the excitement, the energy, because it sticks, because it works, because it's the best personal development and professional development training program in the world. If you don't believe that after you go through 4 weeks of it, ask for your money back. I just gave you 4 full weeks. You went through it. If it wasn't the best ever, ask for your money back. We're happy to give it. You just got 4 weeks of training from the world's #1 coach. How awesome is that? But if you make it through the 5th week, then you also get 12 months with me. Then you also get the public forum with me. Then you also get the live events, the live webcasts. It's a different level. So stick around. I think you might just find there is a new level for you, and you deserve it, and you're ready. There's no question. If you hung with us this long tonight, you're our people. You're part of this community already. You already get the idea. You've been intrigued enough, but you know, just deep down, whether some of us, it's frustration. It's like, I know it's there. It's so close, but I don't know what to do. To other people, like, they're restless because they're like frustrated because they've tried everything and they know what to do, but they can't stick to it or complete it. To others who don't know what the next stage is for themselves. To others who are already high performing, but they're wondering like, okay, I'm a good athlete. What are those Olympians doing? To others who are already high performing, they're already multi-millionaires. They're going, okay, what's he teaching the billionaire guys? All of you, you're right for this program. And you only have this one time to do it. I cannot stress how important it is to enroll in High Performance Academy tonight. Don't wait another night to do it. Don't wait till Friday at midnight to the final thing. Like, be a person of action. Like, if you're going to do something, do it. It bothers me when people are like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day. It's like, because most of the time they won't. Or if they do, why are they waiting? Stop waiting in life. Let's rock and roll. So click the link below. Remember, there's one other bonus you won't see when you check out, or I didn't just talk about. If you sign up tonight by midnight, I'm also going to give you the Business Accelerator. So if you ever start your own business, or you're in your major career, or you already got your own business or brand and you're trying to grow it, this is 5 weeks of advanced training from me on how to advance that as well. A $5,000 program we've offered previously. I'm just going to give it to you for free as my congratulations for you to joining High Performance Academy 2015. Boy, I feel like I've talked a million miles an hour tonight, y'all. I appreciate your time, your energy, your support, all of your comments. I'm going to end the live webcast now and encourage you to sign up. While I do that, Travis is going to play some people talking about their experience in High Performance Academy. You'll see them at a live event, but they also went through the through the online training. It's just we filmed them at the live event because they came there. So you'll get to see their experience. You'll get to hear from them. It will help you make your decision. I look forward for you to signing up and seeing you in the members area. Until then, I will also, once we end this tonight, I'll be here in the live forum. So keep posting your questions, your comments. I'll stay here for another 30 minutes or so, answering as many as I can. I look forward to serving you all in High Performance Academy. Thank you for your time tonight. No matter what you do with this decision tonight, know that you're in the right place. You know, whether with me or someone else, just that intention you got in your life to grow right now, to go to that next level. I honor that. I honor that in your relationships. I honor that in your business. I honor that intention in your soul. I think all of us right now need to look at where we're at. We need to look at our relationships, our family, our community, our world, and say, what's our next level of contribution? What's our next level of vitality? What's our next level of health and joy? What's our next level of success and giving? What's our next level of deepening our relationships to ourselves, to this moment, to the people that we care about? We can all do better. And whatever you decide tonight, let's just decide to do better. Give our best, finish our life knowing that we did one thing, that every single day we're intentional people to serve our purpose, to serve our highest good, to do well in this world. To, as I always say, go out there every single day, live fully, love openly, and make your difference today. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Brendan Burchard is just the very best in high performance training, personal development. What I find is he takes the common sense and he puts it into a framework so that we can actually use it in our everyday to grow and to move forward.
I'm here at Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. Now you gotta come to this event. I'm telling you, Brendan is so authentically energetic, enthusiastic, energizing, and so savvy on all the things that make you a high performer. There's so much here. I mean, even for people who think they've got it all figured out and dialed in and that are performing high in their life, I'm telling you, there are strategies and nuances and technology and cutting edge information here that you don't want to miss.
I have a much clearer idea and a much better plan and a clear pathway of what I need to look at, what I need to measure, how I need to change, and more specifically what habits and thinking habits particularly, what I need to put into my life so that I can change the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I behave. All of this wrapped up into one package is going to definitely change my life.
It's been so far 3 days of off-the-charts training. Just the stuff that Brendan gives us is actionable, it's real, it's content-driven, and Brendan is great at not only motivating you to live at a higher level, to perform at a higher level, but he gives you the framework and the actual strategies to do it.
Brendan, oh my gosh, he is a blessing. He connects the dots in what we struggle with. It has opened me up. I woke up this morning just alive again, and I recommend this for anybody, any walk of life, any place they're at. I'd like my adult children to come. I think it would be a wonderful, advantage for them. I've heard people walking the halls talking about, wow, I've got 4 kids at home, and these things I'm going to start now. So it's just amazing, and I am grateful.
This year, my charge to myself has been to, when presented with good, better, and best choices for myself and for others, to always choose the best. And that's been my charge for the whole year. But I'll tell you that I didn't have all the practices that I needed in order to implement that. So I found myself in a huge rut. And let me just tell you that now I have not only a 6-month action plan for the practices that I'm going to implement in order to really take that charge seriously and be the best person that I can be at home and in my business, but I also know exactly what I'm going to do every day when I get up out of bed all the way to when I go to bed at night. And let me just tell you that that is invaluable, because it's the small little decisions that really make such a huge difference.
I'm here at High Performance Academy with Brendan Burchard. Like many of you probably already know, when you've seen the videos and everything, that guy just gives everything in every video. Well, it's everything and more in person. I've learned so much here that I had no expectation to learn from him and the people that he brought on stage. Would I recommend it? Absolutely.
This event has been one of the most incredible, life-changing events that I personally have gone to. Brendan means so much to me and what his teaching is doing that I've taken with me my family of 4 kids and my husband to be at this event with me. He looks at not only what's important to focus on, how to